Welcome, everyone, to the live NFFC online auction draft that we're doing with Jake. We already got the first pick on the board, as has been the case for, it feels like, the stake league drafts that I've done as well, too. Got to throw out that kicker.
Yeah,
right away. Very
priorities,
first.
right?
Got to get that kicker right away. Yeah, exactly. It's funny how that goes. So kicker off the board as part of that right away. And you guys will be able to watch players that are, I think, in this case, at least tossed out. So no, actually, this is going to be much more boring. I think in the upper left is I'm seeing McCaffrey there. So McCaffrey's at 45 at the moment. Do you see that on your screen, Jake?
I do not actually.
No, interesting. All right. Well, I just bid up McCaffrey to 48.
Okay.
He went to 49, and I'm going to go to 50 on it.
Yeah. You and I discussed the price that we kind of have to pay here early
Yep.
on for a couple of these guys. We're going to go over, we'll do some of the strategy after the fact, but
yeah, and I'm going to leave him. I'm going to leave him at 51. So let's see. All right. So let's see.
I think you at least got to go up to 55.
I chickened out. Nobody else was in that one.
Ooh, we should have done that. We should have
won on that one. Okay.
That's a great buy. That was miles cheaper than I
expected. Yeah, but that's going to set
told you before the show we'd have gone up to I'd have gone up to 65 on him personally. So
this is why everyone's tuning in, right? This is setting the tone for every other running back. That's how it's going to go, right?
Yes, Jake? Joe has the unfortunate job of actually pushing the button here. I just get to scold him and berate his bets.
So Bijan also at 50 right now. I got to get to change the correct screen because this is going to be boring for everyone else. Hold on. We're going to stop screen sharing there, and we're going to share the screen to go right here.
So Bijan's about to go for more than McCaffrey is basically what happened. Okay, now I can see what's happening.
Correct. Yes. Yep. I got us now. So everyone should be able to see the actual board. So you get to see my strategy and decision-making process, I guess, if that's good or not, with the up button as well. But here we go with Justin Jefferson at $36. Again, the team who got Bijan and Christian McCaffrey went to the same team. So team 2 is both of them right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's an interesting. You're already upset. You wish we could have done that, right? That's what I'm getting at.
I don't need Bijan. I think he's being a little overpriced this year. I would have very much liked McCaffrey in this situation. But, whatever. We're going to live and we'll learn. I don't think I'm in on Justin Jefferson at this price, though. How about you?
Yeah, at 45. I mean, this is, again, McCaffrey set the price tag for everyone else, so this is about there. There's some receivers that I like around the same range that it's like, okay, we can wait. But we've talked about this in the podcast. We need to have some balance. We can't be at the end of the tier. We don't want to necessarily always get the middle of the tier. So we'll see how it goes.
Man, we should have been in on
McCaffrey. Literally a minute in, and Jake's
yeah, we already blew it, guys.
I'm having so much fun. Have you tweeted this out yet to anyone? I'm making sure.
No, I got to do that here. I would
get the retweet out. We're not getting Rashad White.
Let me get that. I was too concerned about what's going off the board here. You got to get him at least into the mid-20s here.
I don't want Rashad White though.
Fair enough. But if he's less than 25, I mean, I personally would go up to 28. But you got a pricing force here.
Okay, I was too late on that one. You're right.
This is one of those situations where even if you do not want Rashad White, you price and force him at $20 because of
because I mean,
that's just too low for Rashad White. No matter what source you look at, if you're going to I've seen him for this type of format anywhere from we have him at 25 in our software, or we have him at 30 in our software. Others I've seen a little bit lower. Chase, I think we agreed we're out on.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
so the team that got McCaffrey, Bijan also got Chase now. So they have $38 remaining with 3 players that they got. That
could go really well or really poorly for them.
Well, if I'm not price enforcing, it could go really well. See, and this is the correct way. They're jumping up right away to where the market was set before, which is
I'd throw a bid down here. What do you think?
On Tyreek? Nah.
I'm past it. It got right past my number real quick there.
Okay. Well, we have our secret Slack message as well too. If you are needing a player, or I'm not being aggressive enough, you can always let me know off of that too.
But it's a lot easier for me to scream bid, Jack. You know what I mean?
He's still angry about the McCaffrey thing.
You're gonna 2 minutes. A little bit different Jake here because it's happy hour at the Letarski.
Yes, no, that's the best kind of Jake for sure.
Tonight.
Best kind of
All
Jake.
Right, here's the player I actually like.
All right, so $2. Oh.
I'll give you my number here in just a sec. I'll give it privately.
Yeah, you better do it quicker than that. Well, I don't know. Now he's over that price tag.
It's still...
So over Tyreek Hill, over Justin Jefferson, $5 over Jamar Chase.
Yeah, he's the number one receiver. I'd bid 51's fine with me.
I actually am fine with that too. Like if we were doing this, it's McCaffrey 1, CeeDee Lamb 2 in my mind, and we know that CeeDee just got a contract. Jim Coventry's been talking about how we should be worried about the. You're welcome.
We just got him, right? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You're welcome.
I'm very cool with that price. Okay, good.
I am
here. I'm feeling good. We got a stud.
I could feel the venom still from the McCaffrey. Like we should have been more in on that. Right? Okay.
See, we talk every year on our show about the very first player on the board being a potential value. And that was absolutely the case. Well, I mean, if you skip the kicker and go for the first real player, basically everyone, ourselves included, was caught sleeping early. So that, every year we do. This is a couple of weeks ago now, but we do a.
I think you are correct. So look at this, and this is the end of the tier. Now Amon-Ra St. Brown at $51. We just paid $51 for CeeDee Lamb. To your point, Tyreek Hill went for $49. Maybe you want the savings, but this is one of those end of the tier players, so somebody has to grab them, and that's a high price tag for me. I mean, that's where it's at. Nominating wise, we'll go after a guy that I'm really eager to get in Puka Nacua. I'm gonna see. What?
I'm gonna tweet this before I forget. We keep getting taken.
Yes. We're 6 minutes out without your
so
Twitter
we're
audience.
About 10 picks in, I'll say.
All right, so Rashad went for 20. Puka Nacua at 34 is about mid-second round price tag, I would assume. We'll see what ends up happening.
That's actually a pretty good price for Puka.
I think so.
I'm not overly upset. Here's your guy. This is where people know our show, right? And then they know that you're gonna be willing to pay for your guy. So was it a troll job all year?
It was absolutely somebody trolling me. I don't care. Josh Jacobs should be $7 more than Rachaad White. That is not a big deal to me at all.
Yeah.
You get one of those automatic. I'll buy it for you, no matter what. You could text me who it is, Jake, right now.
Did you get him? You got him?
I did. Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I was gonna say we could have gone up to 29 for Jacobs.
Oh, nice.
27. I'm cool with.
Where are you at with Garrett Wilson? We're at 39 right now.
Let me see. I gotta check what number I got for him.
That would mean that we would have only $80 left for the rest of the team.
Yeah, I actually have him as a low 30s player, so this is kind of an overbuy for somebody who.
Interesting.
Listen, I don't hate Garrett Wilson, but in this format, and given our bids so far, we're about to go up to somebody who missed the tier, right? Who paid more for Amon-Ra than we did for CeeDee Lamb, and Garrett Wilson. There's more than $4 separating Garrett Wilson and CeeDee Lamb, in my opinion, here. So I'm cool with that pick. I'm cool with that. I'd be cool with that buy on an island, but given what we've already done in our budget for the position, I think both of us are collectively out on this guy, right?
Well, isn't this one of those I got to price enforce things? Because people really like him.
Let me look to see what we got to price enforce here. Because I'm looking at about 28.
Okay, and it went to 30, so that fits to the soft.
But no need to price enforce here. We don't need to stick ourselves, especially. He's not going to have a better year than Josh Jacobs, I don't think.
Well, he's being drafted like he is, so $3 difference, I understand. And for the viewers out there right now, we're looking at over 300 already at 10 minutes into this. I will flip back occasionally to the team roster builds as well. Especially for a guy like Breece Hall, for example, who I think we unfortunately have to be out on, even though that 46 price is pretty good. We can go look at that together. So
we would have needed a better bargain on Breece Hall than that price. Yeah. I'm okay with Josh Jacobs as our RB1, especially when we have CeeDee Lamb as wide receiver 1. I mean, that's such a safety net of points on a week-to-week basis there.
Yeah, this is what the very beginning looks like thus far. Again, we made two pretty aggressive enough bids, but I think CeeDee Lamb, that is fine. Breece Hall going 49 is a buck less than Christian McCaffrey. Devon Achane off the board as well. I mean, these are some popular names, certainly, but yeah.
RotoWire software has Breece Hall at 50.75, so for this format. So we're looking, pretty much exactly what there's no.
And it has McCaffrey at 65, you said, right? Or there's higher than that, McCaffrey?
McCaffrey, we have him projected a tier above anybody else. We have McCaffrey at $71, which is a little bit high. I don't
think that's factoring in the injury risks that we've already seen.
Basically, it's projecting a season, but like looking at some of our main competitors, just for the heck of it, that I look around at, they priced him out at $65, and he's $18 ahead of Breece Hall in there, and he's $21 ahead of Breece Hall in ours. So it's not like we're all that out there on him.
You'll have to let me know who's next on the nomination floor. I'm also tweeting this out too.
Did I finish my tweet? No, I didn't finish my tweet.
I was just going to do it.
I got distracted again.
The Letarski household. What happens at Letarski household stays at Letarski household, right? Jonathan Taylor at $2. No, can't let that happen. 3.
Yeah, this might be a price enforcing situation.
Yep. Working on that.
I finally got the tweet out. I said we're about 10 picks in the draft, and then
10 picks later after that.
We're more like 20. RotoWire software has JT at 38. I don't think we need to price enforce. It's close enough at this point.
I was gonna say I think we're kind of stuck at that one, fortunately.
Had we not purchased the running back yet, I would probably go up another $1 here.
That's fair. That's fair.
If we hadn't already taken that budget off for the running back, I would go up another $1 there, just because again, you want to avoid being last of the tier, and that's right at price. So we got the standard Justin Tucker for $2. Somebody always does it.
I was gonna say I'm not even looking. See, tell me.
You want to nominate Younghoe Koo or Falcons team kicker for $1?
No. We're gonna stick to.
I always love getting that out of the way. But.
Well, it's always Cameron Dicker. That's who you got to nominate, right?
Yeah, Dicker the kicker. Let's see here, and I see your nomination strategy here. You're kind of nominating guys that we don't necessarily want.
Yeah. Well, I've only done one so far, and it was Puka, who you're right. I do not want. I want nothing to do with Debo. You could tell me if I need to jump over, but I'm just finishing the tweet.
Yeah, I mean, if AJ Brown gets nominated, you could even start throwing out Drake London and Chris Olave too to hopefully suck some money out. Obviously, I don't know if you're in agreement on a certain other Rams receiver that I really want to have this year, but I would not be opposed to getting some of those receivers money off the board. And then
look at Jake Letarski being a Jordan Whittington fan. I didn't take you for that. I understand though. It's a joke. You're talking about Cooper Kupp. I understand.
Yep. You know exactly what's up. Then our name can be 2 girls, 1 cup.
I don't actually think you could change names on the NFFC. We're good.
Oh, really? Okay, never mind.
Yeah. It's such a 2007 name. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, I know. I think it's like retro enough for it to actually be cool now, right?
I don't know if that's how it works, but I'm like the worst case example of trying to figure that out.
So for Saquon, I'm getting around 38 for my projection here. I don't like Saquon, but I would price enforce here until he gets over 30.
Yeah, Geese has been trying to get a running back for a hot minute now.
Yep. See, and Geese could have ended up with Saquon Barkley for $27 if we weren't on our toes. Again,
I literally just finished tweeting. Yeah. Yeah, right now Geese has Achane for 30, Jefferson for 46. So getting a Barkley at 27 would have been a massive windfall.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine leaving it there. I had Barkley in the 38 to 40 range priced out. That's where I have him in a league like this. But I don't necessarily love Barkley. So there's a price enforcing territory, and I'm willing to let him go for a couple dollars less, especially given our other plays. You can stick him up to 27 right now too. I mean, I would go.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Just went there.
Sometimes I
So if
like to keep
HM
things
went,
moving.
yeah. And that's what other people have been doing too, which is good. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think
I was going
Winker's
to
gonna
say,
get more
we
involved.
can't let him go for 28.
No, I don't
He's a
think so.
player that our software always kind of likes, Derrick Henry.
This is a full point
We're
PPR
right at the
format,
roto
so
projected value right now, so we don't necessarily need to go higher.
yeah. So this is a full point PPR. Unfortunately, are you able to see the comments by chance in the chat, Jake? Because somebody was asking, how does this auction draft go? Maybe, I mean, here you could just talk about it.
Yes, I can see the comments, but
Okay.
that's a pretty vague question. What exactly is he asking?
Yeah. Thumbs up as you come in, people. Yeah. AJ Brown. Yeah, that'd be good. AJ Brown at 41.
I'm not there yet.
I don't think so.
That's
I think there's another guy that I'd rather throw out here coming up and see what we can do. But
You're more of a
43.
Harrison guy than I am.
How did you know that's who I was going to throw out? How did you know that was the next nomination?
Okay, now we're getting back in the same mental wavelength here.
Yeah.
It took us a little while to sync up, but we're getting there now.
Yeah. How did you know that was who I was throwing out?
You know how I feel about rookies, but
Mhm.
this is a player I have zero of, and I'd actually feel a little bit better if I had at least one share somewhere important. I'm not out on him now at this price, though. Well out on him.
Fine. I could say this now, Jake. I was putting him out there just to kind of see some money get lost. That was the goal. At 35,
Yeah.
I mean that's
this is outrageous.
So, well, no. Nakua is at 34. So, I mean, that's where it's being drafted, where Marvin Harrison's going ahead of him.
I think
AJ
Nakua
Brown
at
at
34
44
was a value, maybe not a tremendous value, but a value nonetheless. I think this is. I priced out Harrison at $24. Maybe I'm a little crazy, but
wow. So we're saying Harrison's like Rashad White, if he's a mid 4th round pick, went for 20. Maybe White's price was wrong, but White went for $20.
Mm-hmm.
I think Harrison's not anywhere near that. I mean, or are we going wrong with the ADP conversation?
I mean, I'm starting to look around at other valuation systems too, and they're right around $25, $26. So it's not crazy here to have Harrison at 24. It is a little crazy to have him at 37, but I
know
think
Waddle got injured, so there's reason there's some. I think that's kind of where I want to go. I don't know if he plays week 1.
Yeah, I mean, this is right about what I'm looking now and I forgot to update the player data, but so that shouldn't have made too big a deal unless somebody got injured. But RotoWire prices him out at 25. And one thing I noticed is like wide receivers are the ones that I tend to look at a second opinion on, because of just because I think our formula maybe slightly undervalues wide receivers a little bit, or at least the top ones. Once you get to the middle tier and below it, the thing levels out. See, now people are trolling us here. This is going to be a very You knew this was going to happen.
Right? We knew it was going to happen. Yes, we knew that was going to be. Let's go ahead and throw out the guys that Bartel and Jake talked about on the podcast before. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it is what it is. I get it. Do you want to go higher on Corum?
I'd throw 8.
Okay, that might be where I go though.
Yeah, I don't think we need to do double digits on him, and that's what's going to be.
I don't think so, right? Yeah.
I mean, our software, maybe we need a projections update here, but our software for this format still has him as a -$1 player, actually. So
Cornwall, yeah, I don't know about that. Like, he could be the 3 down. I don't know how much of a pass catcher. I don't know how much he benefits from the full point PPR format. That's the one difference that I see with Corum. So we'll have to see. That could be a steal, but what I'm hoping is it's just going to set the market for what? Drake London's that's too much.
Oh God, I was thinking no more than 20.
I thought you got hurt.
No. I was reacting to that price shooting way up.
He knows that we like London, or at least he knows I like London. That's what this is.
Like London?
London's like my guy. Yeah, I've had him for far too. Geese has clearly been listening to all
my guy for $24, but when I saw that go up to 37,
I did the right thing. I priced him for us to a certain point, and we backed out. It's all right.
Yeah. Okay, this is an interesting guy. I was going to say 25 is fine. Too much more than Now we're at the point where we really have to want him, and I'm fine.
So I'm going to be. This is talking with my heart, Jake. I'll be honest with you. I have Devontae Adams in Stake League. I can't have Devontae Adams in this one and Stake League, my two most important leagues. I can't.
Yeah, that's
can't
too
do
much.
that. Yeah.
I also think that he went for a couple dollars over projection. So I mean, we spent a lot of money on two players coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine. I'm not in a rush to get top stud first round picks anymore at this point. So this will be an interesting one. I'm curious how we feel about him because in my mind, he's a negative player in redraft.
I don't want to go. There was a thought about price enforcing. To me, this sets the market for some other guys that I like instead. But in
Watch
the NFFC,
Joe Burrow for cheaper than this.
6 points per pass. You are all in a Joe. No, we are not getting Joe Burrow in the shared team. You can run with Mr. Eminem hair all you want in your Stake League team, but I do not feel comfortable.
He's an absolute legend.
Having that kind of bad hair mojo on my team. That's not going to work.
Yes.
Definitive pound the table because he has blonde hair.
Here, I'm going to respond to the.
Yeah. That sounds good. All right, Mike Evans now up. Jeff took him mid-second round of his online championship.
Here's somebody that I actually like a little bit. If depending on how lukewarm the room is on him, I'm going up to. I probably shouldn't announce what I'd go, but I'd go up to 25.
Okay, I'm fine with that. As people are watching live, oh, they said 25. All right, yeah.
Yeah, see that right here is our issue with live doing this, right? Well, it's not going to matter anyway. I actually wouldn't oppose to hitting a bid if you aren't, but
I'm going to.
I'm not crazy about it.
They got me on it. Yeah, I'm going to. I think
he's so safe. He brings our week-to-week floor up quite a bit, except for the weeks that he plays his rival. Okay, now
we're good. Yeah,
back out a little bit.
Well, and now Hudson's going to have. He's got 4 players, so Hudson's going to have 5 now. Rashad White, Barkley, Debo, Marvin Harrison, and Mike Evans. We're talking about a 48 budget for quarterback, tight end, flex, and the rest of the bench. I mean, that's not dollar days. That's a pretty good build. But Mike Evans went for 28, Devontae Adams 29. I'm okay with that.
This is an interesting one because it
sets the market for everything else, right?
Yes, exactly. So now, listen, I don't necessarily trust the software in this specific instance because of me being generally quarterback averse, wait on quarterback, spend money elsewhere here. They throw Allen out at $23, but I would only be in on this if we could get him for under 20, similar to
There's some QBs that I do that for, but I don't think Josh Allen's the QB I would do that for.
That's right. You think the Bills are going to miss the playoffs? We talked about this yesterday.
Yeah. Well, and I'm thinking 6 points per passing touchdown is significantly different than Stake League, where it's 4 points per passing touchdown and the rushing yards matter. Like that's where I end up seeing the difference being. So, all right, let's see how the punt returner does. We're watching Kyron Williams' value right here. I will absolutely price enforce to a certain extent. I mean, or is all in on Kyron Williams. I don't blame him though. Like that's fine. Yeah, okay, we're good. Although I love having Geese here to keep price enforcing. I want him to actually get players. He's been really good at doing the job that I'm too scared to do.
This is almost a price enforce situation.
Nah, I mean, we talked about
this. Yeah, I guess because we lost out on Corum, didn't we?
Right. Yep. Corum went for 9 and Kyron goes for 27. No, I'm totally fine sticking away from that. I mean, we got Jacobs for 27. I understand people think that Kyron is significantly better. He's not. Jacobs is going to be, I think, really, really good fantasy-wise.
I just sent you a number.
Okay.
If you agree with me.
Yep, I'm fine with that. So do you see my Discord messages popping up?
No, I'm not on Discord.
Good.
I thought we were doing this on Slack.
No, we're doing it on StreamYard, but I was making sure that the Discord wasn't part of the streamed service. We're coming on the stream, which is good. It's fine.
Okay. I thought we were going to get him.
we were. We
I went down to 1 second. You went down to 1 second.
Well, I went down to 1 second as well too with it, but that was one of those that I was like, well, we'll go up a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. I sent Joe 32, but I was definitely okay with him hitting 34 on it.
Yeah. And again, looking at the running backs of this group, the tiers drop off quick. Like after that, it's a little bit dicey to get your running back too, and that makes me nervous. So I'm totally fine. Jesus.
Whoa!
What's the software do
here? That by accident?
No, I think it's deliberate. What does the software say for Rice? I'm really curious. Because that wouldn't be projected. I don't think that'd be projected.
I have $18 for Rice.
So Rice is currently going on like the back into the third, early fourth. And early in the summer, he was like, you could get him easily in the 8th round at Underdog, which is a super wide receiver. Oh, shoot, it's us. Too late. It's a super wide receiver heavy format. So I think that's actually like, that's about what you're seeing right now.
He's already
above it.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to put your flag on Chris,
I just was Devontae was 29.
I'm well out on this.
Mike was 28. Devontae was 29. I just want to make sure Olave got to where he need to be.
I'm looking at some receivers coming up here that I would much rather have at this exact same price.
I like Olave this year, and I do think I'm taking him above Devontae Adams and Mike Evans. But it's to your point. There's other guys that I like at a similar enough price too, and we're getting money off the equation then.
So there are both defenses and kickers in this league. That's good.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know about you, Jake, if you really have a preference. I have 2 $1 guys every single draft that I'm getting, and I'm not going to deviate from that too often.
Yeah.
So if you're fine, I was going to say, if you're fine, just like waiting to literally the last 2 picks, which is what will happen, then
do your thing. I'm a big nominate Young Wei Koo for $1.
we could. Well, we waste our time. We'll make sure we get it next time. Here you go. Hold on.
We don't have to make sure. I wouldn't.
No.
I can't in the queue as like a fallback. Like if we think, oh crap, I can't find anyone to nominate here.
We got this. We'll make sure. The Jets defense is widely the most expensive defense out there. The one that's taken first. Okay, $4. I get that. All right. Let's see. I think. Oh, there has been an error. So this is it's been paused for right now. I think to roll back, I would assume either the Olave or Rice ones. I'm not positive.
I thought Rice going from 13 to 25, but what does that mean? There's an error.
No, yeah, it's there. So if you could see the chat right down here. Mm-hmm. It is slower for me right now. I agree, but
I've never done one of these. This looks like a very slick format, but I've never done this specific thing. Like how without a true commissioner and an overall prize, who decides when there's an actual error and when and if we roll back the bids?
I think that the idea is this being played on one of the premier fantasy platforms. People aren't really doing that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And
if we screw up and accidentally type in $80 for DK Metcalf,
right?
Is that considered an error? Can we roll that back, or are we just like stuck and learn our lesson?
I think it could be, but also that like the Jets will get thrown back out for $1 if they go up to 3 as opposed to 4. Then okay, fine, yeah. But you could see there are people in the chat that aren't exactly happy with that. It was, for what it's worth, I don't know if anyone is watching live and drafting with us. That was slow for me too. Like it was getting slow for so whatever that is. But you're right. There's some things with this. Social media manager Jake is responding to the questions.
Oh yeah, yeah. You got your hand is on the bidder button here. So
yes, I know. I appreciate it. That's good. All right, because if you wanted me to get Evan Ingram, I understand, but I also don't need to get him.
You not like him? Because I was going to say at least $6 for him.
I mean, we should put him up a little bit higher, but
yeah. Okay.
So I don't want to go higher.
We can stop now. Yeah, we can stop now. I was going to say we weren't going to let him go for that low, but there's.
I have been tight end cheap for most of my redraft leagues, and it's kind of a perilous thing. I have a lot of confidence in a certain few guys later in the draft that'll be good, but I also understand if somebody doesn't, if that's not personal preference for somebody else. So that this is a shared team between you, me, Jake. If you want to be a bit more aggressive getting tight end, I get it.
Mm-hmm. No, I like this. We'll just find ourselves in a David Njoku at the end of the year and ride him to the playoffs, ride him to the title, ride him to the overall prize. There is $15K on the line here, so let's do it. I haven't played in many of these with overall prizes before. Mahomes and Gardens.
Say Team Horn should be trying to get him, but
yeah,
with the Rice buy.
Yeah. This is one where I haven't priced at 21, or RotoWire hasn't projected at 21, but just because of my general philosophy and what we've already spent, there's no need to spend $20 on a quarterback.
Yeah. Well, I might do it. I would rather do that than try that.
If we John Mellencamp Hurts so good, is that what we're talking about?
No, I'm not. Stop picking the running quarterbacks. That does not matter so much in the 6 points per passing touchdown format. What's the software at for Metcalf? It's got to be
24.
This. Okay.
24 across the board, wherever I'm looking at.
I don't like that. Okay.
If you push the button, I wouldn't have been opposed, but I wasn't also like clamoring for it either, because there are like 3 guys that I would much rather have.
And I think you and I are right there with it, and we'll just go hot and heavy when that time comes. But it just bothers me that that's a good value, and that team has also now gotten Derrick Henry for 31, Devontae for 29. There's not a bad buy. Even if you don't like those players, there's not a bad buy of that group. So
exactly. He's already passed what anybody anywhere
out of if I had more stones, I'd push him to 24. That's where the Rashee Rice range, again, 25 for Rashee Rice. That's where Neighbors is typically going.
He's a $19 player, and he's getting steamed up to this
because he got the number 1. He had the Giants unretire the number 1 without ever playing a game, and Malik Neighbors was not number 1 in college too. That's like some real alpha shit.
Fair. I mean, I'm not sold, but if that sells someone,
27.
That sells someone, and they want to pay $29 for him, then hey, good for me.
Yeah, that was a pretty high price tag. I agree.
Got a quick hydrate there with my glass of water.
Yeah, thank you, Davis. It's like, let's just keep going with this. We know where it's heading.
How do you feel about ETN? I'd go 31.
Yep. Shh, be quiet, Jake. Just let it happen. Just ease into this $28 ETN, Jake.
Maybe they're not all listening. Maybe they're not.
I was gonna say, let's. Hey, all right.
I thought ETN would have been a last of the tier situation here coming up.
Yeah. So just for the listeners, what Jake is
look at what
referring
else.
to.
I mean, maybe Joe Mixon you could say in that tier, but like.
Well, I think it's this guy. Actually, that's who I'm going to nominate next. Actually, yeah. But yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that outcome too. Yep.
Yeah, get Kamara out there too. He's a perfect nomination guy.
Yeah, who we love a whole lot. Love us some Alvin Kamara. Yeah. So that's the value.
This is right about on the spot what I have for T. Higgins. Where he's going.
We weren't going anywhere with that. There's going to be some receivers I think we can get value wise for at this point. The way this is looking right now.
Ooh, I like this going so far. I like our first.
Other than everyone else kind of in the same range. So and Beckham, like Orr and Beckham can kind of do some damage if they want to, but right now it's been I think kind of ho hum for both those teams, which is Orr only has Josh Allen on the Texans. That's okay. That's fine. Yeah, and like I said, Orr going.
That was a large price increase. I wouldn't have. Oh wow, never mind. I wouldn't have been shocked if Pittman would have been had for around 19. So to go from 4 to 24 was quite the bump.
So what you're saying is you think Pittman and Higgins are about the same value because Higgins went for 20?
Yeah, I have both of those guys right up in the 19-20 range.
Okay.
I will refrain from making the joke I always do.
Thank you.
I was gonna say this is a price enforcing situation right now.
Taking care of it.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say now we can stop, but
Yeah, we're good.
he was out there at 13 for a little too much longer.
I was on that the whole way. I think that we were not.
Okay, you're sharp. You know what's going on.
We were not letting that one go, and unfortunately, Geese, who's been so good at price enforcing, is now effectively out of it with 54. He's now it has to be kind of on us to be aggressive with it. So that's his second receiver. He got Mahomes for 20. Friend of the program at this point, the way he was doing a great job. Devon Achane at 30, Kyron at 27, and Jefferson at 46. So I will, for the viewers now, we're pushing over 600 at this point. I will show the rosters to date in just a second I think we're nearing or getting close now. It's only round 4, but we'll go over a few more of these.
Going with this view, though, for the majority of the show here, this lets us, especially for people that haven't done auctions before, they get a good sense of where things are at.
Does this work? Can we do that? Or? No. Okay, that's fine. This is really good. I just for like real quick as we're in between players, I think that's
he's at my projection right now, so there's no price enforcement.
I don't think we can go really, unfortunately. Yeah. All right. Get that out there. Catch the lulls, right? Like we were talking about on the podcast, catch the lulls for this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, this could very well be a lull here with
yeah.
I think we can stop price enforcing now unless you really, really want to.
That's good for me. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, James Cook for 23. I would imagine people would say, well, Jacobs for 27 relative to Cook is a pretty high price tag, but that's why we got ETN for 28.
Yeah,
we were able to
recap. Our software projects ETN at 34, James Cook at 24, and Josh Jacobs at 31. Now our software is a little RB heavy compared to wide receivers, but I really like where we are at so far. That is for sure.
So that's what it's up to date right now. Again, the rosters themselves.
Yeah.
Right
and
now
we have the third most money left, so we're going to be able to dictate some of these value tiers as well.
Yeah. Right now, Kyle Pitts is out there for 14. Do you want to go higher on this? I think I'm leaving him. He went to 15. What's the software say?
I don't care what the software says. The answer is no. It says 1627.
That's great. That's great. All right. That's why we're a tag team. You can help me be my better half of this one. Oops.
I mean, goodness. He would have to be falling at like $7-8 for me to actually make that purchase.
And he might have. This is one of those where he gets nominated early, and therefore, you could see him get to that point. So that's I think the difference of the two.
I have a $16 player here, but you can do with this what you will.
All right, we're getting there.
Every formula has its quirks here, and this I'm seeing some competitors that are way quarterback heavy in their formula.
Really happy with. I didn't want to get caught price enforcing anymore. I don't know if Beckham might have went up higher, but sitting at with the second most money, that's one of those that we just got to get him to keep going up, and maybe that'll be better tier advantage. I like Geese. He's just quality guy at this stuff. All right. Or is it, guys? If you were watching,
I'm not opposed, but I understand if you want to exercise restraint.
No. Not here. Not here. I get it though. Not here though.
Yeah, I have him at 28, and me being so cup heavy, I was.
So the only issue is
software has him at 28. This is almost past though where I'd even be stretching on him.
Everyone's in on him right now. Like that's one of the hotter risers. I think ADP wise, whether it be NFFC or anywhere, that's one of the highest risers of the past 3 weeks. So and everyone here at the NFFC is super duper duper sharp drafting. This is we just there was never a point where that was going to sneak in, unfortunately. I wouldn't mind it. I think everyone is right to be hot on Cooper Kupp, but there was no savings for that. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 teams don't even have a running back. Team Phillips, Horn, Orr, and Beckham all do not even have running backs. So they're all going to be kind of fighting with each other. And at least in that case, both of them have money to kind of spend on that.
I'm already kind of out on him at this point.
Yeah, if you could have been a little bit more quiet, then we got it to 20. But you're right. I was going to kind of leave it at this.
I was convinced he was going to retire after last year.
I don't mind him for the redraft price, which is a 4th rounder, and sometimes after Laporta. But when we're saying, hey, Kelsey is going to be valued like a wide receiver 2 in the way this budget's breaking down, then it's like, okay, no, we could do cheaper on tight end. I don't know if it'd go all the way cheap, but we can go cheaper on tight end.
I don't have personal rankings published anywhere, but I do have Laporta ahead of Kelsey. Laporta is tight end 1 for me.
I think Laporta will be 1, but Kelsey's really close at 2. And then there's a drop off after that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're going to find out. Oops. We're going to find out. Yeah, and this is what you do.
This is one where I'm going to slack you my number for him.
Okay. I have a feeling you're going to be upset.
Yeah, which is fine. If you're not willing to go up to that number, I'm okay with it. But that's about where I'm at. Are we way far apart on that?
I thought I bid it. Yeah. So I don't know if you should be like less. This is it freezing again. Okay, whatever. Yeah. I don't actually think I disagree with it, but we only have one receiver, and I want to make sure that we're. Yeah, I think it was a fine buy. I just want to make sure we get our receiver room in order with this stuff.
Yeah, I hear you. We do need to get our receiver room in order. That is one thing that,
because I feel confident getting a one. Like I don't want to do, but I can get a $1 tight end. I know what that looks like, and I feel okay with those teams. I don't know about like what the equivalent of a $1 day receiver is. That makes me nervous.
That you have to start. I see what you mean.
Right. Yeah. I'll say people got to be in on him, right?
This is way more than I projected for him.
Yep. He's another one of those that's just uber hot right now.
This is 10. I don't get it. It's not like Tyreek or Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf just are disappearing.
So it's
that's $10 more than I was willing to pay for him.
So you know more college than I do, but the Washington, like the University of Washington coach is now their offensive coordinator. So I think that's where people are going with this is like, oh, Jalen Polk and
here, let's sit back and watch this last of a tier bidding war that we always talk about, right?
Yeah, okay, that's not great. That's not great.
I'm actually okay with that.
I don't want to get caught price enforcing on Joe Mixon of all people, though.
Yeah, but I priced him out at $28.
You're right. Yeah.
And I lied. We have him priced out at $24.
Okay.
So
I don't want my running back to be a flex, but yeah.
So basically, our nomination strategy from here on out should be getting money yanked out on the best running backs, right?
Yeah. But that was a lukewarm thing. But I'm tossing everyone out there. I mean, we got Kamara timed up next.
We're pretty much going to be nominating running backs from here on out because I don't think we need another running back until dollar days, probably.
We might get one more in that $10 range, but
yeah.
Can you send me a number on Devonta Smith, please?
Yes, I'll send you a number on Devonta Smith.
Okay. We need to go quick in that. Okay. All right. That's fine. Shoot. I think that. So look at the tier here.
He was right at the number, but that's one where it's like, okay, if you would have went to 24 or 25, I wouldn't have been that disappointed.
Yeah.
Because we're starting to sneak into late tier situations here.
I just want my wide receiver 2 to be somebody like even a wide receiver 3 I'm fine with, but I want my wide receiver 2 to be somebody I like. And I don't know if we're like, well, and I like these guys, but that's a little bit tougher.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
so or just went 1 to 14 and immediately gets Kamara. That's what we're looking at running back wise right now. He went 1 to 14 and nobody even like bumped up. $14 for Kamara. Yep.
So do we have a lot of 0 RB guys in this or what?
Well, we had that was Orr's first running back. There are 3 people that don't have any. Then everyone else has at least 2. We are the only one with 3.
punting running backs and going 0 RB works when you're one of the only ones that does it. But when there are three, I'm in on this, by the way. When there are three people in the draft that are trying to do that, I think you're going to end up in a little bit of a world of hurt.
I would agree.
I like this.
Yeah.
I think
that might be where I go, though. I don't know if I'll go any higher than this. Yeah, that's fine with me.
Yep. Okay, good. I like that. He's our MVP. I also actually like him too. I know we're going pretty happy here lately, but maybe I'll send you a number on him. But we're going to be running out of money soon.
That's okay. This is the right idea.
That's about where we're at here.
Perfect. That's it. Good. So that actually makes me feel really good about what we can do here. Okay.
Now it's just
getting excited. Yeah.
So do we want to pair him up? Should we just do another buy? Should we pair him up with Lamar?
No. Well, that would be wild that we're just throwing it around like that.
I mean, I go up to 15 on him.
I'm going higher, I think.
15 unless we're actually toast on cash. I'd make that click.
We got 40. Nah, we got to stay. I think. Yeah, we got to stay.
Okay.
There's a couple of guys I think we could do
Isn't Mark Andrews also missing practice?
Yes. Well, he got in a car accident 2 weeks ago. He got in a car accident.
He was in that car accident and apparently not injured, but he's also missing practice.
Mm-hmm. Adding the QBs to the nomination list. Now I forgot Lamar for 13. One thing I have not been tracking is the bye week, so hopefully we're not toast there. Running back, we're looking good. Receiver, we're looking good. Okay. All right. Can you send me a number on this one?
I don't think we need this one. He's at the number. Yeah, I wouldn't go much more than that. I don't even love that, but I don't have any DJ Moore yet.
Really? Oh, Rones!
I'm pretty happy Rones just did that, actually.
No. Rones got us, man. That's a good buy, I think. Neighbors went for 27. Moore's going. I mean, technically he's going around that range, but yeah, I think that's like a totally.
I got Moore's at 23. Like our RotoWire software has him at 23, and our RotoWire software is a little lower on wide receivers. But
I'm thinking redraft. Like Moore is
have him breaking 20.
Early third round guy. Neighbors a little bit afterwards went for Buck Moore. Evans is going where. I mean, you're right. That I could not
see what you're doing in the
than
nomination queue. I see what you're doing in the nomination queue right now. Actually, I like
just getting them out there. Getting them out there. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, what was I doing? I was going to.
I don't think we can really go much higher on Amari Cooper.
I keep opening a tab to go like retweet something, and then I look at the player that's up, and I completely forget what I'm doing. What did Cooper just go for?
18.
That's a little bit of a value, but nothing that I'm super regret being out on.
We set the price with Godwin at 17. So you could basically go one or two more up every time with that when Godwin's 17. So it is what it is.
This could be a last of a tier bidding war. I could very well see happening for these. There's three teams that need a running back so
three
bad.
Teams that need two running backs, yeah.
Yeah, they need both running backs. And I price him out at 23, and he's getting a lot more steam. I could see
he is getting a lot more steam. I agree. Yeah. I swear it looks like one person's bidding themselves up. Like I feel like it went Horn 23, then 22.
Yeah, but it lets you set a max bid and then automatically increase by increments of $1, right?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah, you can set the max bid right there, then go up. Yeah.
Dude, our team's so nasty. Our bench is going to be filled with dollar guys.
Our bench is going to be kind of gross, but we're going to figure. Good thing we can get $1 out of a kicker and punter. Sorry, we don't need punters. Defense, kicker and defense.
We had a guy cancel his subscription the other day because we didn't have punter projections. I'm like, dude.
You could tell stories to the live audience about the
Go
things that
pay
we get from
$400
subscribers.
for a Pro Football Focus subscription if you really need it that bad. No, I'm kidding. Those guys rule. They're partners of us. But like punter projections, who just signs up for a site blindly thinking that that's something that they're definitely going to feature because
you can use rotowire.com/try to get 48-hour access to the site, no credit card needed. And you can click around and see if you have those punter rankings along with everything else we do. We try to be a one-stop shop, not just for fantasy sports, but overall sports. And I think that's one of the many valuable uses of it. So rotowire.com/try, 48 hours to the site access, no credit card needed. You won't take any of that information. It's just check it out, see if you like it, then we can figure it out after. Do you like the plug? Is that good? Is that great.
You got to price and force him to at least 17.
I am getting there. Gosh, Orr is like nuts here on this. Come on, Orr.
I'm okay with this.
I'm not, but it's going to have to be. That's one of those that you're just plugging away, trying to do what we need to. I mean,
I had him at 23.
Okay.
I could go make another cocktail, take a bathroom break. We're probably not buying anyone for a while.
Yeah, you're good. You can step out for a bit if we need to. Yeah. I'll do the best I can to price and force.
Yeah. I like Pickens a lot, but now we can just kind of talk about players as they come up with and see. Mm-hmm. I like Pickens a lot, but I think there's a lot more than $2 separating him and Diggs.
In a full point PPR format, theoretically, I would agree with you. I wouldn't be surprised if Diggs is the third guy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't be surprised if Diggs is the third guy of that group, and that's the one.
What you want out of the preseason here, but when they run two wide receiver sets, when they run the 12 with two tight ends, and there are only two wide receivers, it's Diggs and Collins out there. Tank Dell is the guy that's on the bench when they're on two wide receiver sets.
Interesting. I mean, how many snaps did that happen during the preseason? Very little.
12, 14.
Yeah.
Something that, again, I'm trying to use as photographic as a memory as I have from a tweet that I saw, to determine this, But I remember that catching my eye and that being the only real concrete evidence I've seen of anything of how Houston's going to do the alignment.
So I'm really happy with this. This is one of those that I would have loved to get Stroud for $11 or $8, $9, and not Lamar for $13. But when we're saying it's a $2 difference, even with the 6 points per pass touchdown, less of an emphasis on rushing, this is going to be. Stroud 11 is totally fine by, but it's not the value that I was hoping you'd get at quarterback, and that's why we throw him out there. So, Richardson's going to be the last of that tier. I have him queued up next. There are still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams that need quarterbacks, so we'll see what he ends up going for. I'm curious. Very curious. You'd think, or who has Josh Allen, will try to get Kincaid at all costs. He just went all the way up to 16, which is
that's outrageous. That's more than Mark Andrews, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now he's up to 18.
Wow.
Looking at Thomas's team, he's got $18 left. Jaden Daniels at 9 or Stroud at 11. It's I'll take Stroud every time. But Pacheco, Montgomery at 15. I missed that one for some reason. Jackson Smith at Jigba at 14. Evan Ingram at 14. So Evan Ingram 14, Pitts 15, Mark Andrews 15. Then Kincaid 18, Laporta 19. That's going to be the difference where we're at. We're just not paying anything close to that for tight end.
DeAndre Hopkins is on the board right now for twice as much as what I would pay for him max.
That is what I paid for him. I paid $6 for him in the stake league, and normally the prices are not. It's kind of half of that, so It feels appropriate. All right, here's your guy. You get to get all excited about Joe Burrow, get all angry that
watch him go for $6, and then I'll be mad.
He's going to go
Lamar for 13. Sure.
Yeah, he's going for 6. Rones has been the hero anytime we try to get somebody. So we'll see if Rones gets the steal again for Joe Burrow at 5.
We're not really in a position to be able to afford a backup quarterback, and we don't necessarily need to with Lamar, but damn, this is good value.
We can get no, it's not a good oh my god. You
This is
are
good
way
value.
too in on Joe Burrow this season. That's gonna be my biggest concern for you. No, I don't think it's that big of value. I don't.
What was his final price that he went for?
$7, yeah.
If you get Joe
It
Burrow
could
in
be.
single digits, you did something right. I'm just saying that.
It could be. That team has only gotten 3 players thus far. Cowboys kicker being one of them, AJ Brown and Joe Burrow. So yeah, it could be. It certainly could be. Phillips has got plenty of money to play with. We'll see what happens when he does. But
this is an interesting price. I'd hit that. No, maybe not.
Our max is 13. We can't really do it.
Our whole roster is full except tight end, right?
Yes. Yep.
And we're gonna have to decide if McBride, Kittle, Ferguson. I think I know.
There's one tight end I like of a certain tier, and then there's like 5 tight ends I like in the $1 tier. So
I'm not opposed to going in on McBride, but I think he's going to go for more than our max.
He's certainly one too. He's certainly one we could look at. I would agree. I'm curious what the board does with Marquise Brown here. Like, I don't mind him in this range. I'm going to go for it.
I'm glad someone bid you out of that one.
You're not going to get a quality receiver for $6 very often. That's where I'm at, though, with that.
Is Marquise Brown a quality receiver?
Yes, he's going to be good enough in the Chiefs offense. I'm in again.
Yeah, maybe I got poisoned by his Cardinal days last year, but he did absolutely nothing for me last year. It was a 0. If he was a good receiver, he'd find a way to have a good game once in a while. Yeah, like I implied, Trey McBride is past our max bid.
Yes.
Software has him at $20 for whoever.
Yeah, well, I mean, Kincaid went for 18. That sounds about right to me. That McBride's going to go for that range too.
It's crazy that people are paying $150 to enter this league and then buying Dalton Kincaid for $18. Sometimes this blows my mind.
It is not that crazy of a thing. Dalton Kincaid is often being drafted that way.
I like Kincaid just fine.
You're acting like that's a big. Oh my goodness, it is.
There've been a couple requests in chat to go back.
I will.
To the roster grid thing, and I said that you'll do it sooner or later here.
Yeah. Thank you for reminding me. I'll go over it together. We can't really. I like it. I mean, I pushed up to 4 because I was fine, but we can't go to this here.
Yeah, we're not in a position to be able to do that.
All right, so let's see. Share screen, and I want this. All right, so this is where we're at currently. Zay Flowers is on the board. I'll imagine he'll get priced to oblivion real quick, so you can look over what's happening with those teams. Anyone standing out to
you? Hour-long point. What point is the break going to be?
In round 9, so we have probably 10 more minutes yet. Because we're on round 7.
Okay, got it. Okay, perfect. So yeah, just to recap our team here, we got Lamar Jackson at quarterback. That was $13. Josh Jacobs early on, $27. ETN only $28. I thought that was one of our better buys. CeeDee Lamb at $51, which is the same as where McCaffrey went. We got Chris Godwin for $17. Stephon Diggs for $20. And we were really price enforcing on Joe Mixon and got him at $19, which is still about $4 less than where I projected him. So I'm okay with that. We're really only missing a tight end, kicker, and defense, and then we're going to have a lot of dollar days in our bench coming up here. But with a $13 max bid and a lot of spots to fill.
Well, right now Anthony Richardson is going off the board. Zay Flowers went for 18. By the way, you have Anthony Richardson getting bidded up at an appropriate price. A good enough price for what we were hoping for with how we got Lamar Jackson.
They went for exactly the projected value I have, and Anthony Richardson, I have it $7.
Interesting. He went for 9. So, I mean, that's the end of the quarterback tier there. You had Burrow at 7 and Richardson at 9. Daniels at 9. Would you rather have Anthony Richardson or Jaden Daniels? I'd rather have
Richardson for 7 than Daniels for 9.
Well, Richardson went for 9. So,
Richardson.
Would you rather have Jaden Daniels for 9?
I'm not super high on Richardson, but I rank him way ahead of Jaden Daniels.
Yes. Yeah, that's where I'm at too. Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. It's annoying to me.
Yeah, we can't really be in a running back.
I know. It's
that's
going to happen.
Yeah, we're going to start to see buys like that, but I have him at $18.
It's going to happen, unfortunately.
At 18, and he just went down to
because we can't be aggressive, and the teams that don't want running backs are just going to continue to not want running backs. So whatever. Nothing we can really do. So that team who got Swift has Jahmyr Gibbs and Chuba Hubbard and Swift. Like, I'm okay with that group. The receivers, Tyreek Hill, Puka Nacua, Devonta Smith. Yeah. I think our team could beat that team, possibly. I don't really like Stephon Diggs. That's the problem. I'd rather have $4 more Devonta Smith than Stephon Diggs. And Terry McLaurin. Dang, that's actually a good team. All right, looks like we're freezing up here again if you're reading the chat. Because Love only went for $4. So run it back. Going over any of these questions thus far, do you have anyone you wanted to talk about, Jake?
I'm typing out an answer to the quarterback rankings real quick.
Okay. So for this one, somebody's asking, who are you taking? Herbert, Tua, Caleb, Goff, Lawrence, and Jaden Daniels. I would assume this question is going to be in a
Tua, Williams, Herbert is the official RotoWire. Daniels is here. So I just posted it there. Goff, Lawrence, Tua, Williams, Herbert, Daniels is the official RotoWire stance, but all of those except for Goff and Lawrence are $1 players. So they're basically all the same. Personally, Goff and Lawrence, are $2 players. I personally, even though RotoWire has Herbert as basically a level $1 even player, I'd rather have Herbert than Williams, Stafford, Tua, or Lawrence. I'm a Herbert guy.
Interesting. Well, here you go. Jordan Love, who had went for $4, that got ran back, so now pushed all the way up to 10. Again, Jaden Daniels went for 9. Anthony Richardson went for 9. Jordan Love will now exceed him in the price tag. 6 points per passing touchdown, but interesting nevertheless, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I love Jordan Love as much as the next guy, but that's one of those where I have to put my homer bias aside and let someone else eat that cost. I mean, that was $2 less than Lamar Jackson and $4 more than Joe Burrow. I will not shut up about Joe Burrow.
He's not practicing very often. That has to be concerning. That has to be a nerve-wracking thing. He's not practicing that often. They're managing his practice reps. I don't want nothing to do that.
Oh, man, I really thought I'd get a better number than plus 1,000 on Joe Burrow MVP odds. I'm kind of disappointed on that. I thought I'd get a way better number. He's fantasy quarterback 10 or 11, but he's got the third best MVP odds on the whole dang list.
Yeah, it's because he's not going to be MVP. He won't be healthy, and therefore will be a bad fantasy asset.
Predicting he won't be healthy. That's impossible. Lamar is plus 1,500. Does he get juiced down because he won last year?
This is the Nikola Jokic thing. Like, how many times has somebody went back-to-back MVPs until Jokic does it? But that doesn't happen very often.
I think Lamar is going to blow up as a passer this year. This is where the passing games are really going to click.
I hope you're right. I hope we're right about Stephon Diggs. That's the one that kind of yucked up the whole thing. Where if we don't have $20 Stephon Diggs, maybe we could be.
For what it's worth, I'd rather have Stephon Diggs for 20 than DJ Moore for 25. So
I don't know about that, but you're right. $5 savings allows us to not quite be dollar days. But yeah, Jared Goff now up in the quarterback rankings, going for $4.
Yeah, that's
and this leaves just 3 teams who need quarterbacks yet. Kyler Murray and Dak Prescott being the other 2. So I would assume there's going to be at least a race for one. And then
somebody's going to settle for Brock Purdy and be fine.
Yeah. All right. I tried to get on Calvin Ridley for $2 or $3, but no, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
I feel really good about our running back values between Jacobs, Etienne, and Mixon. Like that's a good trio. But
yeah, to recap for anyone that's just joining, we started off with a little bit of a conflict there because we always talk about the first player off the board possible value there. Christian McCaffrey went for $51. I forget to which team, but it was an excellent value, excellent buy, and I was I definitely wanted to get in on that.
Team 2, Wieland.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, good job, Wieland. Jumping on that early buy. I don't know if he's a listener or not, but that strategy definitely paid off there. However, with the running backs that we ended up getting at the prices that we got, that makes the missing McCaffrey's thing much, much better. And the whole dynamic of our draft changes, right? Because if we take McCaffrey at 51, we're not in on CeeDee Lamb at 51.
Yeah, we can't go both. And I thought Lamb now at the contract. I understand, again, Jim Coventry is worried about CeeDee Lamb and the soft tissue injuries after not practicing. Completely get it. Josh Jacobs is the same way, right? Signed a couple days before camp last year. Had a really miserable season for the Raiders. It's why people don't think he's going to be very good for the Packers. Totally get it. This is kind of like a boomy bust team that we have with Jacobs and Etienne and Lamb. But I think there's also steady production out of that, or just complete worst case scenario, they all suck and will be last.
You need to have some degree of boom or bust here if you want to have a shot at the top overall prize, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree.
And I believe the top overall prize winners construct their team in a manner that we do, where the vast majority of your budget is spent on players that would be drafted rounds 1 through 4. You fill out your whole starting lineup with that, and then we basically either need a pickup or one of our dollar days guys to hit, and then we're well on our way.
Well, and waivers are a thing here. Like you could go ahead and do that. You could be aggressive on waivers and get players.
Find Kyren Williams. It's possible.
Right. So we could, I think we will have to, right? It being in dollar days where we're at, we're going to have to be aggressive doing so.
We're going to find the receiver really is the,
which is super hard to do in the NFFC. I'm not really eager to do that, but yeah, I agree with you. It's much easier to find the running back
every Tuesday from here on out on the RotoWire show on the RotoWire Fantasy Football Podcast. You can find us here on the YouTube channel, RotoWire Facebook, Twitter, rotowire.com/pod gets you. You can see the link there. You get a free trial. Check our pod out because we'll be helping you with the waiver wire all season. That's our bread and butter.
So Mixon goes for 19, and we set the price then because Stevenson 17, Aaron Jones 15. I think that's about right. I mean, I think that's. If you get Mixon for 19, didn't want to do that, then those running backs have to be a little bit lower down. But one of those that if we do this back again, knowing running back prices are going to be depreciated, we could have probably been a bit more aggressive getting a second higher tier receiver, although it's more like consolidating because then we wouldn't have had a Joe Mixon price tag, right? Like if we only had 2 of these running backs and then got a $15 Aaron Jones, I don't know. I think I'm okay with $19 Mixon now, talking it through a bit more.
Mm-hmm. I was A-okay with $19 Mixon at the time. That was enough less than what I projected him for, that it wasn't just a price enforcement. It was a real value that we got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. And again, it could be our flex. That's one of the better values for that too, is you don't have to have a receiver as many people want to, but Mixon's going to be involved as a runner and pass catcher.
And who's his backup? Dameon Pierce? I don't think Dameon Pierce has a carry more than 2 yards all preseason.
I thought they were going to be aggressive trying to get a Deonta Foreman or somebody like that. And to my knowledge, I have been gone most of today, Jake. Maybe they signed somebody to the practice squad that's good. I don't know, but there really is no backup. You're right. Wholeheartedly agree.
I was going to say, you want to bid on that?
No, I don't.
No Kittle at $8 wouldn't have been okay for you?
No. I just think that we can get a $1 tight end cheaper. Like that's the way this is. Let's save a little bit of money to get that receiver that we're looking for. That's how we do things. So no, I don't think we need to go that direction. We're both silently waiting. I think we have to let it go there. I'm sorry, Jake. Yeah. That was the one that we were trying to hold out for.
We were holding out for Ferguson. See, I would have been okay bidding $7 or $8 on Kittle, knowing what just happened. Kittle just went less than Ferguson. $2 less.
Which isn't. Kittle goes ahead of him. I don't like having Kittle in this sort of format where you're unable to get. You have to have him every single
need to
out there.
bid on this guy.
You said don't bet on him.
Are you a big Brock Bowers guy?
I think he's going to be fine enough at tight end. I would get him for. I think 5 would have been where I'd go.
Okay. Yeah. Fair.
That's fine. And everyone else can have tight end at that point. There's me.
I personally rank Cole Kmet higher than Brock Bowers, but
just Cole.
I'm crazy.
No. All right, let's get the last quarterback out there, or second to last. Watch Team Wieland and Davis fight with their very itty bitty money that they have left. Somebody's going to get a very cheap quarterback too with Dak Prescott.
Yeah, Dak's a $7 player on my board, and he's going to go for less than that here.
Yeah, or got him for, and that's he has the most expensive quarterback in Josh Allen, and now Dak Prescott behind him.
Which he's going to have some tougher roster decisions than one would think over the course of the year.
I would agree, and still does not have a running back left of that group. Tank Dell is his wide receiver 4, or as a flex, which is really good. So wait, Zamir White for 1? Hold up,
that can't happen.
Yeah.
Or are we just letting Zamir White go off?
No, that was no. I've never once contacted the administrative services before, but yeah, no, Zamir White's not going for $1.
Thank you. Yeah. This is why it helps to have you running the show, because you've done this specific draft room before. Yeah. And I was legitimately curious at the beginning, like how in a league where the hosting service is the commissioner, how do these disputes get handled?
Yeah, it was. I love. So there's been very rare instances in an NFFC like redraft league, or where you on round by round, that we've ever had issues with it. I love the way to contact the admins, which is a thing to do, and also in the auction drafts. And I've seen it happen more. Again, we did one of these auction drafts a couple of years ago, and maybe there was a few instances where you had to go that, but that's one of the best parts about the NFFC is that they allow you to have that freedom to contact a bipartisan person to be able to handle the kind of matter. So I don't know. I don't think he's catching any passes.
Yeah, we can leave this be. We've got other targets here.
Yeah.
These MVP odds are wild.
Which one is wild to you?
Maybe it is the Lamar, the Jokic effect, but for him to be plus 2,000 and for Joe Burrow to be less than half of that. Here, I thought I'd find a value on Burrow, but apparently everybody knows my secret,
right? Sure. Yeah, that's one way to phrase it. Yeah. I like Najee Harris at $7 a lot, but we can't do that. It's very frustrating.
All that does is give us more difficult lineup decisions every week doing that.
Well, you're right. We're realistically having a hard time getting Joe Mixon into the lineup. How do we get Najee Harris in there too? Yeah, you're right.
He is an $18 player, $19 player on my board, so somebody's getting a tremendous value here. But we kind of knew with some of the early stuff that there would be some values at this tier.
Mm-hmm. And Orr would do good to get the receivers off the board since he has so many already.
I was going to say somebody.
I was not even watching. Yeah,
it got down to 2 seconds at $1. Now we can be out on this. But
okay, I don't know where you stand. I think actually this is totally fine, but
yeah, I'd be okay on that. But then that's our last somewhat meaningful buy.
Right, and that's right. I don't want to burn that just yet, but who am I to say? We should.
This will be interesting.
Oh, is this us? We get to do that now? Yeah, I didn't think we're not.
Jaden Reed's on the clock right now.
Okay, I was going to say, what the heck?
Yeah,
I just was trying to get Brooks ready. That's all. Should we just do this?
Yeah, I don't care if we're down to $1 days.
Do we just go our max? Okay, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
doesn't
Let's get
matter.
The other one. If anyone's listening picks up on that, we'll get the other one. I'd much rather take the other one for 6 than Reed for 14.
He's not going for 6. He's definitely not going for 6. Where are you at with Musgrave? We're not going to roster him. Where are you at with Musgrave?
$1 player.
Okay. I'm not even drafting him in redraft. Not. I think Tucker Kraft is a
You
better
think
tight end.
Watson's going to go for more than 6? Our software only has him at 425.
Yeah, I think he will.
I guess these people are sharper in here, and we've also.
I think they are also
talking to Watson
receiver
on
heavy.
times.
It is more receiver heavy than typical. All right, so let's see if Davis or Whelan ends up with Brock Purdy this time. Davis goes up to 2 on himself. I think he nominated Davis, Purdy, whatever. That's fine. All right. So now only one team, Wheeland, needs a quarterback yet.
You know who's still on the board? This guy right here.
I didn't see it. What was it? What is Good.
I think every home in Wisconsin needs to have one of those. It's kind of like Kim Jong-un in North Korea.
All right, so we are over an hour into this draft, and we are just approaching halfway. Jake, how are you doing? You doing physically okay?
I'm. You just slacked me a question to discuss privately, and I'm thinking about how I want to answer it.
Yeah. That's okay. That's good. I was just thinking this is gonna be a long draft. We're gonna be going for a while. We got a lot of dollar day stuff. All right. I knew that I had him on the queue. Yeah, I think Brooks is gonna go for like 7 or 8. I'm curious to see what people push him up to.
Scroll down that all list a little bit for me, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Okay, that's good.
Cool.
I just gave you a couple, and Joe wanted to privately discuss nomination strategy, which is one of those things that we'll hit after this happens. But one of those things we're gonna kind of keep between ourselves for the show here.
All right. Are you doing that with intention or for?
I except for the very first one I sent you on the list, who we can laugh about. The rest of those are guys that is designed to suck money from other people.
Interesting. Okay.
We're not going to be able to be in on any of those other guys.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna
some running backs that I don't want that won't start in our lineup. That's basically
yeah. Well, and I also think we can. Wow, he went to. I mean, that's actually totally fine price, but 15 now for Orr. So he was waiting on James Conner. Interesting.
He was saving the nut for James Conner. I mean, hey, I guess.
Or and like that. Okay, so this goes back to what we've talked about on 3 different years of podcasts now. Hold on, let's just. I think people are going to spend some money on it.
Yeah, the way people have bid up Harrison and Neighbors, this guy should go for $15, right?
I would assume. Although if we're gonna,
people might seriously be running out of money.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. There's only a couple people.
Our software only has him as a $6 player, so we don't need to price enforce anymore at this, unless you love Lad McConkey.
No, I actually thought there'd be more enthusiasm. I'm sure Xavier Worthy's going to have the same sort of thing too. But
yeah, I think people are starting to realize that they're running out of money.
Yeah. Shoot, what was I going to say? Yeah. Okay. So here we go with. I think we're going to see Xavier Worthy have the same sort of interest. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe not. I could be mistaken about this too. I think we're going to have one of the higher max bids left, though, which is a good feeling.
Really? How is that possible? It's $13.
If I'm reading that,
Worthy is a $9 player for what that's worth.
You have Worthy more expensive than McConkey in our draft software.
Yes, this is our software. Yeah, we got Worthy at 9.
I would not have guessed that. Okay. Well, thank you.
And plead your case, then, buddy. There is actually one. Corum is valued way too low. We have him as a negative player in our software. That's when I might actually want to talk to Thorne about.
Yeah, and I think that probably changes after the news that came yesterday too. Like that would matter a little bit.
I did just update the player data too, so it's not a leg there.
Okay. Yeah, this is some good. I mean, we got over 700 people watching live right now. Thanks for tuning in. Obviously, we are now hitting a 5-minute pause for this. So Jake gets to go refresh his definitely just water that he's drinking.
Yes, gotta stay
Maybe
hydrated.
take a health break a little bit too, but I can talk you through again. If you are interested in
Yep,
using
I'll
this
take a break.
software,
I'll let you do your
sounds
thing.
good. The software that Jake is referring to, again, rotowire.com/try gets you 48-hour access to the site. There's no credit cards needed. That's intentional. It's been deliberate by the head honchos now for a while. We don't really care about getting your data or anything like that. Just if you want to subscribe to the site, great. Check it around first. So that gets you not only access to the football stuff. If you're in on prop betting, I'm going to be doing a weekly article, either published Monday or Tuesday, going over the win totals for every team. Win totals. I'm going to go over the spreads and over unders. Goodness, Joe. Every Monday or Tuesday throughout the entire football season. We were up, I think, positive 20 last year doing that. And we had a really bad week 1 and 2. I hit some best bets in there as well. That'll be on my Twitter, JB Fantasy Sports, but otherwise out there on the RotoWire site from a gambling perspective. If you like DFS, we got a ton of new draft software for DFS players out there as well with NFL season coming around. Baseball, obviously. I know NBA and hockey are gearing up in the near future. If you're interested in that, all I'm saying is rotowire.com/try 48-hour access to the site, not just for football, not just for these auction drafts, but for the software that Jake is talking about, but everything that comes with the site. So, look, I mean, that we're doing this because we like drafting with the NFFC, of course, but also because you guys should be aware of some of the tools that we're offering out there that RotoWire is capable of doing. So, draft room. I want the auction board to pull up right here. Again, for everyone listening right now, we are in a 5-minute pause with the NFFC. They'll do this for the longer drafts. For these auction ones, I'm expecting to go at least another hour, although we are closer to dollar days than maybe I was anticipating at this point. But here is kind of what everyone's team's looking like right now. So yeah, Josh Allen was the highest priced quarterback, and then Dak Prescott still goes to that team. I like Phillips' approach. Jake is gone, so I can say this. Burrow at $7 is probably fine. I'm worried about his health, but if he's healthy, that is a 35 plus touchdown guy. Jamar Chase, I think, will play. T. Higgins, of course, is playing. But if he's not, Richardson for 9 is a complete value. Like, you're going to get a top 7 quarterback out of that combo, and he paid 16. Whereas Jalen Hurts went for 16, Mahomes goes for 20. Like that combo, if you had planned and budgeted, like we've mentioned on past podcasts, for 15 plus for quarterback, love that deal a lot. Now, Jacob been talking about this a few times, and I agree. You don't always want to have to make decisions. It's not always fun to be like making a quarterback decision every single week, but Burrow and Richardson for 16 combined liked it a lot. I got Stroud, or I missed out on Stroud in my online championship a couple weeks ago. I got Stroud for $9 in the stake league, which is not as much of a passing premium as the NFFC is. I think this is a totally fine price. I like a Lamar Jackson for 13. And I like a Kyler, like the Kyler range here for 6. So waiting at quarterback, it would be great to have Mahomes for 20. It'd be great to have the upside. It'd be great to have Josh Allen. But I think the difference what you're seeing in that position, this is the most pronounced one, auction draft wise, is waiting later and getting that guy in the same tier or a little bit low. To note, I don't know if you in the chat want to comment as well too. What do you guys think about these running back prices? So Team Orr, and I think it was Team Beckham, pretty sure, and Horn, all weighted at running back for almost the entirety of the draft. Maybe the last 30 nominations, they started acquiring guys. So Kamara and Connor, I don't mind that. Kamara going for 14 for 2 less than for James Conner is tough. But James Conner was the end of the tier and was kind of priced up to the where he had to go ahead and get him. I would have loved to have a bit better of a roster to wait at running back like he did. Like Amari Cooper, Pickens, Flowers, Dell are fine. It's not great, but like what we did with CeeDee Lamb, Godwin, Diggs, I feel pretty good about how that team is kind of building on. Now, Dalton Kincaid, part of that too. Interesting. Looking over at this team, Kenneth Walker again. I should go names. I'm sorry, guys. If you guys didn't want that, I apologize. Kenneth Walker, Ramondre Stevenson, $42 running back group, whereas a lot of people are paying singular price for Breece Hall at 49, Jonathan Taylor at 39. You have to be cheap at receiver. I understand the Walker optimism. I actually like the Amon-Ra St. Brown and Nico Collins team. Like this is pretty good and a lot of money to go ahead and get a wide receiver 3 that can be really impactful. The issue is that we're waiting to the point where there aren't really that many wide receiver threes left. You look at Dell, Hopkins, McLaurin, Allen. I mean, there's a bunch of guys that are now in that flex territory already, at least the way the draft has been going, that it's a little bit tricky. So interesting to note that strategy. Still one more team that needs a running back, but otherwise I think the running back prices overall relatively cheap, which we could have anticipated on this kind of format. So the draft is about to start again. So I'm going to get that back up for you guys watching. Share screen and auction draft room. Good. And we are set. So getting that next round going here, or next tier of players, and seeing what's happening. If you're looking at the money, 60, 50, and that's about it. I guess 48 too. Everyone else is in our range. So it's where we can kind of get a bit more aggressive now at this point, or trying to make some plays to get at least one guy. Jake and I have been messaging privately, and I think getting at least one guy, if not two, will be sort of our target to build on the team, and then it's dollar days for the rest. So not sure how it's going to break out. I'm a little surprised that Team Orr is going to have 3 quarterbacks, because no one's going to $3 on Tua. He already has Dak Prescott, Tua, and the most expensive quarterback in Josh Allen, but it's fine. Keep throwing them out there, seeing if people go on it. That's okay. Yeah, we'll figure it out as we go here for these positions, but not sure what we want to have at receiver. I bet you if you're doing this, like, oh, what's Jake and Joe's tell? It's when they go quiet. We had both talked about getting Christian Watson for around that price. I think that he was hoping to get him a little bit cheaper, but nothing wrong getting a quality wide receiver, an upside. I mean, it's an upside wide receiver for Christian Watson, who can sub in for a Godwin or Stephon Diggs if we need to, and I think that's great. So Kirk Cousins goes for $2. I liked that. Like, I would have maybe like to have some sort of quarterback in that range at $2, but in the NFFC, you're typically rostering at least 2. That's part of the reason why you want to do that. I'd like to have my quarterback be 1, maybe selfishly. The only issue is there's a few people already clinging to those guys that if the plan is to roster a backup quarterback for cheap, well, we're going to have to kind of do so quickly, or at least kind of jump ahead of the tier of people that are trying to do that as well. I'm not sure how much that dollar will matter, but I think there is a clear tier drop off at a certain point at quarterback. So Keon Coleman going to $7. I bumped up initially. If we got him 4 or 5, that would be fine. That'd be kind of one of those last bids that you want to have. But there's similar upside to Christian Watson. Watson will not be the number 1. Keon Coleman theoretically could be, but I understand the reservations that people might have for him too. It's a tricky spot to look at that and say, oh yeah, guaranteed, let's get Keon Coleman to be my wide receiver 4. I don't think that's fair. I think that's a tough to ask, and I think the Bills are, between Curtis Samuel or Khalil Shakir, wanting to operate the same way. They don't want to have a wide receiver 1 committee. So, all right, making sure I'm not missing anything in the league chat itself. Again, we're doing this draft on the NFFC. NFFC. You can follow them on Twitter, the NFFC. I think there's a soccer league that's also called NFFC, so that's why it's the NFFC on Twitter. They've been great partners for us. We've done a lot of great work, at least from that was a tough one. Should have been more involved with the RotoWire Online Championships, which are like a sponsored game on NFFC, but also these auction formats. I think I want to do more of these. These are a lot of fun, so I'm loving getting to be that. So, all right, Nick Chubb for 2 is tough. Like, that's one of those that got to be at least considering it, even though I know he's going to miss the first 4 weeks. I just don't know if I really want to go that direction. I know that Jake's going to get angry because he'd been like, bid up Nick Chubb. He has him on his stake league team. He's not catching passes. He's not playing the first couple weeks of the season. So that's the other one. Caleb Williams going at 2. I would have maybe liked to have a $2 quarterback at that point, but okay, whatever. Oh, he went up to 4. Yeah, I'm good. No. Possibilities for Caleb Williams really good. Totally understand that, but no, it's not something we need to mess around with right now. So $4 Caleb Williams, interesting. Yeah, I think that's the right call, is just throw a bunch of money out with these running backs. I would assume people are going to be, going aggressive with these players. We'll get that one queued up for you in the chat. You can see what's about to happen. I think we're going to see a pretty heavy run on him, knowing that he's going to start for the next 4 weeks. I'm not positive, but I mean, Chuba Hubbard only went for 4 or 5, so maybe Jerome Ford shouldn't. Yeah. We'll let that be for 7. Or is going to build out a pretty good depth chart, at least of running backs. So combined backfield for the Browns, $10, Nick Chubb 3, Jerome Ford 7. I thought the mark would be a bit more aggressive because Chase Brown just went for 10, but that's interesting. Mm-hmm. Very, very, very interesting.
Javonte,
you're back, Jake?
I'm back. I should be good the rest of the way out.
Cool. Yeah, Javonte going for 16 is crazy. I'm actually
that was one of those where I told you to nominate to suck people's money out.
You will be very happy. Can you see down here where we're looking at? Hold on. Right here.
Watson for $9 to Bartel. All right, there we go. That shores up the receiver room, I think.
Yep. I followed your instructions. I understood the assignment on that.
Yeah, and I'm cool with missing Nick Chubb. I don't need any more Nick Chubb.
Okay, I was gonna say you're probably angry that I did not go aggressively in Nick Chubb. I was like, nah, I don't want to really do that.
No, I've got enough exposure already.
You have him in stake league, right?
Yes.
Okay. How are you feeling that he's out for the first 4 weeks of the season?
That's about what I expected anyway.
Okay. All right. So our
That's
max,
a great buy on Mostert.
For 5, yeah.
$5, yeah.
Yeah. Our max is 5. So I think we
don't need to be getting running backs in that tier anyway.
Right. No, not with Mixon. I think we can get like a $2 guy. I was saying to the chat that here you can look at like what's left at quarterback. There was a big run at that. I was thinking maybe that Caleb Williams was something I would do for $2, but looking at what's left, I think we're just going to kind of stick with $1 quarterback, and that's.
I think we could get Herbert for $1, and I'd feel pretty good about that.
We'll see with Rodgers here. I don't really want Herbert for $1, but I think that's fine. You're right. That's what we should do. I think we actually will do that too on our next nomination. Remind me, or if I don't already do it or don't have it pulled up, I will go for sure $1 quarterback next.
Mm-hmm. You could always nominate Youngway for $1 too.
Yeah. All right. I'm surprised. Well, somebody was trying to throw out Demarcus Robinson for $1 because Davis is stuck on dollar days.
I'm pretty sure he's a negative player. I haven't.
Yeah, but that's where we're at with that now. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need to go 2 for a backup quarterback.
No.
I can live.
No, I would agree with you. And I threw my $1 guy out there.
Ooh. I ran out of regular soda water, and there's a pineapple strawberry seltzer water. 0 calories in there, but drinks a little too fruity. I mean, my water that I'm hydrating with, a little too fruity for the.
A little too fruity water.
Aldi brand pineapple strawberry seltzer, not my mixer of choice.
I'm not a huge seltzer guy overall. Is that sacrilegious? Am I upsetting you by saying that?
No, that's fine. I switch off a little bit. If I drink a lot of Busch Lights one day, then I'm feeling White Claws the next day and vice versa.
What's the one that everyone was drinking at Vegas? The High Noons, right?
High Noons are actually pretty good because they're not carbonated and you don't get the bubble gut so quick.
So at the Vegas trip, we always have like an array of different alcoholic drinks, and there are some seltzers and some different beers. I think that was probably the most drank beer that was just given out, right? Was the High Noons. Would you back me up on that statement? At least watching.
Yeah, it's between that and the Coronas, which get sucked down the most at the pool. The Corona is probably the most popular beer. I mean, granted, there's a limited selection here. Coronas, and we got a lot of IPA guys too on the trip.
Yeah, IPA guys too. Yeah, that's the one I can't do. I will not drink. I'll do a seltzer before an IPA. I can't do IPAs though.
I don't dislike IPAs, but they make me full fast. So
come for the auction strategy. Get to have Jake's drinking situation all set. Come on. Well, okay. I mean, like if I'm gonna get annoyed about a $1 quarterback, we're probably in a good spot, right?
I mean, we could end up with Kirk.
No, he's gone.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
look. I would get the quarterbacks pulled up. Look, he's gone.
Oh man, Baker for $1.
That's who I'm gonna go with. Yeah, and I just want to get that out of the way because we're not paying two.
Baker to pair up with Godwin could be all right.
Yeah, that was our strategy. We definitely wanted to stream the quarterbacks. It was deliberate, I promise.
I had Chris Godwin in a vintage league, and I thought I'd troll a little bit and name my team There Is No Godwin. But some of the Bible truthers got a little angry with me, so I changed my name to There Is a Godwin. And then I didn't lose a game the rest of the year, and I won the league. So
that's actually amazing.
Yeah.
So, some of the Bible
get whatever entity upstairs back on my side, right?
I love that they got angry at you for that. This is so funny. All right, no, stop it. Okay, yeah, whatever. Yeah. I was thinking if we could, I'm fine with that. Jesus. Okay, just being quiet. Try not to. We're on air. I'm not saying.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's a little high for Njoku, by the way.
$8.
Yeah, I think so. Our software has 11, so I guess it's not that high. But I felt like when we get to this back half tier tight ends, that all of them are going to end up at $2 or $3.
Are you ready for this? Kittle at $7, still the best price.
Yeah,
should have been more aggressive. We're not getting Dalton Schultz
for $1. I'd take it. Actually, we have too many Texans.
Do we? I guess. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Okay. I like the Singletary for, was that 8? Yeah, I like that.
That's a good buy. That's a very good buy. And you're going to hear me say that a lot here as people kind of run out of money because Singletary's a $19 player on our software.
I think we have the running backs too high priced in our software. That's what I'm learning from this.
Yeah, it helps to understand the software. I think our software is as great as any, but you do have to go in thinking like our algorithm leans a little bit higher running backs than receivers.
Oh, my favorite kicking situation got snapped up early for $1. Somebody knew what we were doing. Got Jake Bates. Well, I think he's gonna be a top 10 kicking option this year for the Lions. So now we have to go get a young ho and we'll be set. Jake's just nodding. Yeah. Yep.
There we go.
No, he went. That's fine.
Or no, wait. Someone else did Youngway?
Somebody else did. Yeah.
All right. Now I really don't care what kicker we get. Did Butker go for $1 yet?
Yeah. He went for higher than that.
Addison's our max bid, right? 4 is our max bid.
Yeah, but like, really?
I also like that.
Let's go.
I'm down being in dollar days for Addison. Yeah, he's a $13 player on the software. That is a worthy sacrifice to dollar days.
Oh, I'm ecstatic about that. I hated Stephon Diggs for 20. If I can get Jordan Ass for 4, yeah, we're good. We are totally good with that. Yeah, Butker went for. I'll try to find it. He went for $2.
Fair.
Aubrey and so the Cowboys kicker and Justin Tucker went for $3. Otherwise, everyone's gonna be $1.
Why would anyone? Yeah, I also don't get why someone would pay $150 for this league and bid $3 on a kicker.
It's possibly my favorite line. It's Bart Simpson. Say the line. It's worked for every time so far. I was gonna say I'll bump up to 2 for Tajay Spears. Whatever.
Yep. So now this is a good strategy point to put for anyone, for our listeners still here. We're in $2 max. Now, when we nominate someone that we actually want, we don't want to nominate them at $1. We want to nominate them at $2, right? Mm-hmm. Because we nominate them at
then $1. We have theoretically a better chance to get them.
Yep. I made that mistake in Stake League with $5 left, not nominating Jerome Ford at $5. and having Benzine beat me to the $5 bid with a faster click.
Oh,
which was, and Benzine ended up getting Jerome Ford for $5, which was devastating to me because my running backs were a little weak after Pacheco. My RB2 was toast. I did get Corum for pretty cheap in that league, so I guess we'll see. But as someone who purchased Nick Chubb as basically RB2, it was real tough to see him. I like the Dolphins kicker for $1. You could do that.
That's who I always get. I'm going to literally have 50% exposure to Jason Sanders against the Jags week 1. I'm going to have 50% exposure to Jake Bates for the entire season long for the Lions kicker because you just never have to. And I think they're going to score a lot of points. Like if you want to cut Jason Sanders halfway through the year, fine. We'll be able to rotate
guys you don't feel bad about making a cut if you have to.
Not at all. Not at all.
Not at all. 2 on him.
No, we're not clicking 2 on Rico Dowdle.
Okay.
Imagine spending $150 in a league and spending $3 or more on Rico Dowdle. No, we're not doing that. Delvin Cook is the starting running back for the Cowboys. What do you mean?
I suppose, that with the Delvin Cook signing. I'm not so sure I'm scared by that.
I'm not. I don't think he makes it through the whole season on the team.
Mm-hmm. That's Jerry Jones, who I think is losing his touch at GM, signing the guy on name, not on game.
Is certainly, I would agree with you. I think I would agree with you on that one. Yeah, we're
going to see a lot of these. That $2 is a good price on Eckler. We got him at 11. Is my projection for him. I wouldn't personally pay 11, but anything under than 5, I think he's worth a dice roll.
Yeah, for $2. I mean, like look at I got the running backs pulled up here. There's a lot more guys that are probably having money saved for, and therefore, maybe that's why you only went for
out
2.
Of all those guys, really only the top 3 I'd throw out at $2. I think anyone under that are $1 players.
No, I think there's some guys I like more. We'll see though. I didn't miss news on Jordan Addison, right? Like he's gonna play this year. I'm not crazy in that.
Yeah, I don't think the NFL punishes drunk driving.
Jesus.
Unless you like.
No, stop. Just you don't need to phrase it like no. It's okay. Stop.
So Addison was carted off the field during an August 14th practice.
No, he's fine.
Then the next day they said that he didn't suffer an injury and isn't expected to miss an extended time, but there is no clear timetable for his return. We haven't really had anything on him in a week.
Well, I guess we're going to find out. I mean, he's a wide receiver 5 for us. That's the good news is that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I like our wide receiver room.
It got a lot better than I was anticipating.
If anything, if Diggs ends up letting us down over the first couple weeks and doesn't have the role that we think he we've got options.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I don't know if this matters to you, but so Phillips has one roster spot left, and Orr has 2, and they're both kind of sitting big money-ish. So Team 9 and Team 1 have collectively 3 roster spots. It's one of those scenarios where I'm like, okay, if you can get those guys out of the draft, it's one less concern. Yeah. So I sometimes try to bait out like who could be a popular name that would elicit sort of that big of a bid. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, is that a concept you do, or is that you don't really care about that?
I watch it to some degree. It doesn't necessarily direct draft decisions. I can't think of a time where it's directed a draft decision. We do have 2 guys in dollar days already.
Yep. With us included in that mix. I mean, it's
basically, yeah, we can pick $1 $2 player the rest of the way out.
I already know who I have it earmarked for, and I'm hoping that they'll last, but I doubt they will. Should I just do it now? I'm
curious.
Should I just like yeah,
is it the guy in our queue?
No, it's not. It is not our guy in the queue. I should change that though.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm on board with that.
Mm-hmm. I'm wondering, do I just toss them out for? There's too much money. Like somebody can sit there and just like.
Yeah, you have to wait. And
you have to wait. Just hope that
if someone throws them up for $1, then smash the 2 real quick.
You fine with me going defense then here next? Like just kind of wait and decide even further.
Get it out of the way.
Okay.
One less roster spot to worry about.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it makes me feel better, like the money wise. Oh, one less roster spot. We have 9 now. Not that it changes the max bid, but I do sometimes think that way.
And we still need a tight end, right?
Yes.
But there
I
are
have
no
my.
there are no tight ends out there that are worth $2. I mean, Goddard and Dalton Schultz are $1 players. Those are the 2 highest on the board according to the software right now. Hawkinson, but he's starting on PUP.
Yeah, we're not getting Hawkinson. We can't afford to waste the roster spot on that.
Freiermuth, Komet.
I mean, if we get Hawk for $1, maybe that's a different scenario. For sure. Waiting on us to nominate. Let's just go ahead. Everyone loves a sexy rookie, right? Here's Trey Benson.
Yeah, let's suck some money out. That might be one of the best running backs left on, or one of the more expensive running backs out there on the board. Yeah, usually when I'm doing my own auction drafts personally, I have the draft room on one side and the software on the other side, and I'm typing in the players as they go along, and then using the inflation feature on our draft software to live adjust prices based on, how people have been spending their money. It's just been tough to do that here because, we're switching back and forth. I didn't see the first couple picks. It's moving fast. We're trying to be somewhat entertaining and give you guys a show too. So,
oh no. Oh, I need to show you what happened here, Jake. This is like error numero uno. Hold on a second. Let's see, auction board. All right, here's what happened. Do you see something up here? What are we missing for Team Phillips, Jake? Putting you on the clock.
I have no idea. What am I seeing?
That's that they're capped out, but they have $5 left. They can't get another player.
That's rough. Yeah, you never like to end that way.
And then Jesus.
Aaron Jones and Najee Harris are their backs. I don't love that. Bowers
and
is
Orr just got $9 Hawkinson too, so he's done.
$9 Hawkinson. Oof.
Yeah.
Well, at the very least, we're not going to leave money on the table here. We got that going for us.
And Palmer is at $5. Yeah, look at the 2 teams that have finished. What's your thoughts on them?
So Phillips, obviously I like Joe Burrow. The receiver room's decent. It's got some depth.
Yeah, did you see that they got Richardson too? I actually missed that. I liked that the 2 of them combined.
Burrow and Richardson, interesting. The receiver room is very deep. They're going to have, but you look through that whole lineup. Is there a first or second round pick in that entire team, or a third round pick even?
Doesn't matter.
I guess AJ Brown a second round pick, or maybe a late first.
AJ Brown's a late first, yeah. So it'd be AJ Brown as a late first, and then the next on the ADP would actually probably be Christian Kirk or Jaden Reed as 6th round
Aaron
receivers.
Jones? No, Aaron Jones is 5 or 6. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Aaron Jones 5 or 6. Then it's Christian. So that's you're not getting a bunch of second or third round guys. You got one first round guy, and then a bunch of like 4th or 5th round guys.
Yeah, I think there's a weakness at tight end there, and just a lack of star power. That would be my only criticism of that team. Let's look at Orr's team. He's out.
Yeah, you got $9 Hawkinson den things.
Yeah. Okay, so he paid too much for Kincaid, in my opinion. He paid up for quarterback. I get it. His receiver room is pretty strong. And then he definitely went quantity over quality at running back, just hoping some of these guys hit. But he did get a good buy on Singletary. But then again, is Josh Allen his highest ADP player? Because there are no stars on that team.
It would be Pickens or Allen. Flowers also gets taken in Kincaid. There's like 3 or 4 third, 4th round guys, whereas Team Phillips got one guy, and then it's more like people after that range.
I mean, these kinds of teams, the 2 that have finished, I think if we were playing like our stake league and the goal was to finish in the top 6, they would be okay. But when there's an overall prize in play, I think you need to take a few more risks and get more star power on your team one way or the other.
No,
that would be my valuation of it.
That's fair. We can keep reviewing.
You'll
those
never
as we...
hurt at a specific position anytime, as far as like scrambling to start a waiver wire player because they're deep enough.
Mhm.
But man, just there are no guys on either of those teams that you can count on for 20 points a week and set it and forget it. Maybe Josh Allen, but like, yeah. So I don't love it.
I like somebody in like the NFFC chat. All right, gents, good luck in your other leagues. This one I obviously am winning in.
Winning with no first or second round picks is pretty bold.
Well, he knows the strategy, the formula.
Those guys are also giving themselves a lot of tough lineup decisions at flex and wide receiver 3 every week. So if you're confident you can bat 1,000 on those, then hey.
Somebody's gonna like him. If we got a $1 Tyler Geo, I'm fine with that. Yeah, we get Bijan's backup. Oh, there. Never mind. Whelan. I think Whelan has Bijan too. Yeah, that was the right idea. You had to go to 2 on Tyler Algier. Oh, Beckham says no. Going to 3. I like it. We're gonna be very familiar with each other. We have like the 3 fewest players.
We're just making our stream longer for the folks at home.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. What if we try to stream? Is there a record? Is there a record for longest stream? We might be doing that here.
Most certainly. This is going on YouTube too, so people can watch it from the beginning if they want.
Oh, I did not know that it was going on YouTube. Is it?
I marked YouTube on StreamYard when I did it. I don't.
You might need to message Alan and make sure he's fine with that. I'm not sure. We might have already said things we're not supposed to.
I know if we just do a Twitter stream, does it even save, or does it only do live stream and then delete it?
I don't think it needs to. I don't think it needs to save. I don't think they care about that.
I just think that this is a good experience for people doing a first-time auction draft to see how one actually plays out and some of the curveballs that you can actually see coming.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you on that one. I'm with you. All right. Okay, that's a good tight end. $1 tight end. Yeah. Let's go get him pulled up so we don't make the mistake again. And we'll really go down there. All right.
Do you like Parkinson because they cut Parham?
So Tyler Higbee tore his knee up in like week 14. So if we were to say 9 months for the recovery, that's going to generously put Higbee at October range.
Yep.
And Higbee's a little bit older already. I don't think Higbee plays until at least November, if not into Thanksgiving. So Parkinson is going to be the tight end 1 for the Rams for a long time. I think that one's like very clear in my mind that I'll take that as like the last round pick, but I'm not doing it even in an 18 round, maybe like an 18 round best ball. I'll have Parkinson. I don't even know if we'll roster Parkinson. We might. We're going to talk about it a lot on the show. I can guarantee he's going to be on a Tuesday show. A little spoiler.
Yeah,
I think Colby Parkinson is going to be a perfect guy to at least mention, but I'm not sure I'm rostering him that same way.
Yeah, that's one of those where the opportunities there, but is Colby Parkinson good? That is the question.
Mm-hmm. No, that's fair. That is fair. I know what you're saying with that. Did you see I had to go to 2 on Freiermuth?
Yes. Did someone else throw him out there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw we got him for 2, but we were kind of planning on that anyway.
Yeah, that was what was going to happen. It's just whatever. Disappointed by it, but
I was disappointed by not going 8 on Kittle at first. But given our bench wide receivers that we have now, I think that was a worthwhile trade-off. Because the difference between Kittle and Muth, especially with the games Kittle will probably miss, isn't really all that much. So,
yeah, he would have been the other one. Ray Davis, like if we had money to save, he would be a $4 or $5 guy, but unfortunately not able to get him. And I thought about, well, if I nominated him early, could we like sneak him for $1? But clearly that's not the case. So that was one of those debate deals. But like you have said repeatedly, and I think it's worth mentioning again, we have Josh Jacobs, Etienne, and Joe Mixon. Realistically, if we're missing two of those guys, we could effectively not pay attention to the league anymore because we're gonna be out of it. So you don't want to have to throw a whole bunch of money in there. There's some backup running backs that I like, but that was the last one that I was really all invested in that case. So
yeah, and after we ended up with Mixon, we knew that we probably weren't getting another running back till the holidays. We needed to shore up that receiver room, and that's what we did. If Jordan Mason goes off for a buck, I was going to say, because after Elijah Mitchell's on IR,
and so Whelan's gonna get boxed out of. Whelan's got boxed out of both his backups. So you have Bijan Robinson didn't go to 2 for Tyler, or he didn't go to 3 for Tyler Algier, and now Jordan Mason he's not going to go to 3 for. So he has McCaffrey and Bijan, and neither of their backups, which I think is very interesting. Not a wrong strategy. I think it's interesting.
Yeah, especially if you're going stars and scrubs there, like some of those dollar players should probably be backups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll have to see. I think I could probably switch over now. Got some interesting developments build-wise. Share screen to the auction board. All right, so look at now Team Horn. I think I'm able to, Team Horn, all those running backs are all backups. I mean, that's going to be the very bottom is that last pick. So he's going to have either one spot for a receiver, I'd assume, not tight end. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, you're going to have to get another receiver here, given the structure of this league. I mean, granted, his receiving room is pretty good with second and third round receivers.
Yeah, and I think the McBride Pitts one is interesting too. I mean, when you're saying Zamir White and Raheem Mostert, you're starting running backs, you kind of just have to throw a bunch of stuff there. Mm-hmm. But that's really interesting. Really interesting. I kind of think it's a fun build. I just would have liked one of the Joe Mixon. Like if you said I'm going to get 5 running backs for $4 or Joe Mixon for 15, I would take Joe Mixon every time in that scenario, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now it becomes the fun part, trying to find people who will actually spend $1. Like who's not going to bump like +1 on some of these guys? Be a little bit trickier. All right, let's throw some people in the queue. I would have actually not minded Gabe Davis for $1. This is now where it becomes we have to like be aggressive getting $1 people because somebody might not actually go +1. Yeah, there he goes. Another one I just throw on there. I'm annoyed. Should have been smarter about this part. Okay, well he went for 3, then we're fine. I probably shouldn't reveal these people on stream, should I?
Yeah, this is a point where we might have to.
Should I not put up people
you might have that reason? Our dollar days players the slack.
Yeah,
which is going to be tough for the live audience out there. How's the tea treating you?
Coffee's great, very needed. I have been talking all day. I had a radio hit. We had a different show earlier. We're doing this now 2+ hours, and then I'm going to be in a flight in 8 hours. I'm taking 5:30 flight out of Madison. Did you even know there's 5:30 flights to Madison? Yeah, it's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're happy.
My day was it was a big behind the scenes day for me at RotoWire. A lot of ID matching, back end stuff, partner feeds.
Those are always the fun ones,
stuff that people don't see. The non-front facing feeds that make the clock tick here.
Mark, I appreciate it. Nice work in the live stream. We're talking over 800 people live watching this one. We are in the thralls of dollar days. I didn't realize I was on the wrong screen for this. I'm sorry. I've been sharing this. We got Marshawn Lloyd for $1. Did you see that? Did you catch that?
We got Marshawn Lloyd for $1. Okay, I'll take that. You're gonna get Emmanuel Wilson too.
Yeah, I kind of don't mind Emmanuel Wilson. I actually think he's really sneaky in that regard. But no, we did not get him for.
Yeah, I mean that just makes sure that we have someone,
Michael Wilson went for $1 too for the Cardinals. I actually really like that one too. Most of those running backs got picked over by different teams, but we'll see what we can find throughout this process. If you're looking at the screen right now, I think it's a bunch of people. So Whelan has money. Geese can go to 2. Thomas can go, but I think Beckham is. Well, I don't know. Is Beckham still around? Yeah, Beckham's got a long team yet to fill out, but a couple teams already full. 3 teams now, and everyone. Well, 2 of the 3 have left at least $1 on the table, which I think is very fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like there are a lot of people that had an appointment or something, had to put the kids to bed or something. I don't know, but
yeah, we're gonna get some value for $1, which I'm actually surprised with. Normally, this league is so sharp.
Should you put Cole Kmet in that tight end crew, or do you rank him significantly below Fenton Parkinson?
Cole Kmet is significantly lower in my mind.
Interesting. Yeah, he's pretty touchdown dependent on a lot of those games. I'll give you that.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere near Cole Kmet.
That's okay. Fair enough.
Well, they also, I don't even know, you might have missed this. Gerald Everett, the pass catching tight end for the Chargers, signed with them, and he's also been splitting time too. So I don't even think Cole Kmet gets a lot of opportunities.
That's fair.
Yeah,
he was a big red zone threat, but I guess that's with Fields, so who knows how that translates.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're good with. I don't think we need any more tight ends out of that group.
Did we end up? We got Fant? Okay, cool.
Yep, we got Noah Fant.
Fant is my only hope at tight end in our MFL Dynasty League that still managed to survive another year.
I think it'll be fine. I think that'll actually be a totally worthwhile thing.
My only weakness in that whole league, where
your weakness is that you are aggressive trading draft picks away. That's your real weakness.
Mm-hmm. To be honest, I just didn't think the league was going to stick around that long, so I was going to try to win while I could.
Yeah, with the money on the table out there for everyone too. So let's see, 1, 2, 3 teams full. Everyone else more or less in dollar. Now it is all about nomination strategy. Now it is literally, if you nominate somebody right now, you'll more than likely get them for $1, which I think is very, very interesting.
This is the exact point of the draft where you have to have a rough list of your dollar players. Which what I like to do on the software is kind of scroll down to that tier ahead of time and highlight a bunch of guys. You can mark them as a tier or a sleeper, as a bust. You can do whatever you need to on the software, and that way you
that's a good idea.
Or if you're on the line. So I basically go through from like $3 to negative $10, and people wonder a lot of times. One of our frequently asked questions is, why do you guys have negative dollar values? It's broken. You can't play negative. We have negative dollar values on the software and on our cheat sheets. Basically, everyone's a $0 player, right? But if we put $0 for everybody, it would just rank them alphabetically. The negative values allow us to rank all the $0 players. This is from my way back in customer service. People would write in, you get all these stories, right? I started at RotoWire in customer service 10 years ago, where they'd be like, your software is showing dollar values as negative. That's impossible. I want a refund. Like, no, that's not exactly how this works here.
It's deliberate.
There's a method to the madness here, believe it or not. And they're all $0 or all $1 minimum players. All of them is what they are, but you need to find a way to rank them. Like, how negative are they, is how bad they shouldn't be drafted. So
yeah, I think we're going to toss them out there because I really believe in them this year. Maybe I shouldn't. We have some pretty serious needs, but this would be one of those guys that if we didn't get, I'd be pretty upset. Like I would want to have Rashad Bateman on this roster.
Interesting, yeah.
So we're tossing him out, but I know we're punting on a few other positions that
he still plays for the Ravens, right?
Yes, he did. He got an extension too this offseason. Essentially 2 years for 24.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, last year I couldn't decide between Bateman and Flowers. So instead of researching and putting my flag in the sand here, I took an equal amount of both of them in like the 7th or 8th round, and obviously Flowers was the pick. Bateman was off my team after a couple of weeks, but I think the new offense will give Bateman a few more opportunities.
Yeah, year 2 of Todd Monken's scheme. I mean, we have Lamar Jackson. Not that we're like, hey, I'm going to stack Lamar with.
Oh yeah, not a new
Rashad
offense,
Bateman,
yeah.
but I think year 2 actually matters in this case. That's a valuable aspect for it. Hey, can you actually know what I'm gonna, because maybe this matters. I need you to look up something for me.
Yep.
I have not seen if this player got signed. I want to make sure that we're following things correctly if that's the case. First round receiver Xavier Leggette's going to go for $1 here. It's so funny, and I don't blame anyone. I don't want any Xavier Leggette, but like it's crazy the draft capital and how it's not paying out for anything.
Mm-hmm. So Kendre Miller and Elijah Mitchell are both off our board, even though they're ranking higher up there.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We got our backup quarterback, right?
Yep. We got Baker Mayfield. We're all set there.
Right. If you missed our over and under win total show, the Bucks over 7.5 wins was one of my best bets this year.
On the Tuesday podcast, anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can search RotoWire Fantasy Football, and we got you covered with that. We're going to have shows every Tuesday moving forward. Next week, waiver wire shows. We'll be mentioning Colby Parkinson heavily, starting tight end for the Rams, kind of catching up today on all the news and transactions practice squad wise. That's next Tuesday, but we're doing this auction draft and really rounding out this auction draft because we've been practicing, or at least doing podcast auction draft principles for a number of years on different shows. And it's one of those reoccurring things. And I'm happy. I think we more or less applied everything that we have been talking about, right? We weren't like lying to the audience with this stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Would you say that's fair?
Yeah, no, definitely. We followed the last of a tier strategy to a T. That's something we hit every year. The first nomination off the board in McCaffrey, that pretty much fulfilled our prophecy of what we discussed as one of our core principles every year. Our dollar days, our nomination strategy. We pretty much followed our auction to a T, and I think we're going to come out pretty successful from this. I really like, obviously everyone falls in love with their team, right after the draft here, but for my first dabble into the high stakes NFFC, which is a real slick looking format here that I like a lot.
I was gonna say, do you like this? Like the look? I always think this looks like
this is this draft room that I'm looking at. I mean, there were a couple of slowdowns, but the admins were all over it, so we were good there. But this draft room that I'm looking at is a lot cleaner than some of the big guys. So props to Greg, Tom, and all these guys at the NFFC.
Interesting. Marvin Mims goes to $2. We feel like we're at dollar days, but I guess not quite. He gets pushed up to that point. Really not a lot of name brand value at receiver left, which is that's why I wanted to go Bateman when we did. So right now we have 3, 4, 5, 6 receivers. Running back, it's going to be 5 running backs. We're going to have 2 tight ends, two quarterbacks as well too, and then 3 roster spots to play with. Typically, the way I do
play with, all right,
is throwing it at running back. Like that's where I'll just throw as many of those darts. Yeah. There isn't as many.
That's another thing with NFFC is these benches are super deep.
Right. Like Carson Steele is going to be rostered. Do you know who Carson Steele is? I don't blame you if you don't.
No, I mean I don't, and he's not touched in any other 12-team league I'm doing. So
yeah, Carson Steele got a lot of preseason hype. He's now, I think, running back 3 for the Chiefs. He pushed out Deneric Prince, who was like the odds-on favorite to be the backup. So Edwards-Helaire is there, and now it's Carson Steele. He looks like Thor. He's got long hair running around. He just like does power running back stuff. Yeah, I think this is a deeper format. We're going to talk about more in the show now, I think, as a result, kind of considering some of these level guys. But I had hoped and sort of prayed that, because I have a lot of Khalil Herbert shares in best ball, that he was going to get traded somewhere. He didn't. And now I have to root for DeAndre Swift to get injured for Khalil Herbert to matter. And I have a lot of Swift, so it's not like I'm not liking that scenario. 2 picks left, though. Jalen Tolbert, your guy, Jalen Tolbert. Look at the quarterbacks. Look at the quarterbacks left. It's wild to me that Deshaun Watson is part of this group, that he's going to be. Like, would you have ever guessed even 2 years ago?
One of these things is not
Mac
like
Jones.
the other here, right? Going back to yesterday's show, though, it was I had the Browns under 8.5 is one of my best bets of the whole year, and I think. And then I talked to Harry afterwards, and he was like, if Jameis Winston was their quarterback, would you take the over on that? I go, yep. If he's like, I'm like, I take the over if it was Joe Flacco at quarterback.
Did you know they kept 4
on the show came down to just like, I'm betting the quarterback here, what I think of the quarterback.
They kept 4 quarterbacks at cut down. So Pro Bowl quarterback Tyler Huntley, off of literally 1 game against Joe Barry's Packer defense, is their 4th quarterback on that roster. And the idea is they're going to trade one to the Chargers. That's been the wide assumption because Easton Stick is just a god awful backup. And then it was announced that the Falcons backup, he played a little bit last year. Favre's his favorite player. Do you know what I'm talking about? Help me out here as I'm trying to nominate our guy.
Ritter?
No, he went to the Cardinals and he got cut actually.
Yeah, he got cut.
Tyler Heineke. Tyler Heineke.
Oh, Taylor Heineke. I got
he got traded to the backup for that. Well, I thought we could sneak in Trey Sermon.
Slacks. I usually turn notifications off.
No, I'm sorry. I think we're good. I mean,
yeah, we have 2 more players to fill, and I think you got your. And I trust your dudes at this point.
Otherwise known as Joe, you've done way too much fucking research. That's what it is. I don't want to hear.
If we're not on YouTube, we can. Can we?
Well, I don't. Apparently, you put us on YouTube. So
I'm pretty sure in the link I tweeted earlier before today, I need you
to message Alan right now and ask, is it okay if we are on YouTube? Because I have a feeling the answer is no for the exact thing that I just did there. I have to be very careful.
Okay, so here's my philosophy. I marked YouTube when I was setting up the stream and checked all the boxes. Then Alan came in and put the picture on there and retitled the thing, but he didn't take it away, right? If he had a chance to take it away then.
That's not how that goes. No. Well, I totally agree with you that I think this is really informative. And again, we're showcasing the NFFC. I love the NFFC. I'll gladly draft anywhere, any contest. They do guillotine things, satellite divisions for different contests. Like I love this sort of format. It looks like this in everywhere, but you're right. I mean, like, oh shoot, I was not paying attention. Let's see.
All of these guys are the same in my mind.
It is. Well, yeah, it's bleak. I don't even know if many will be mentioned on the show. I'm gonna just go this direction and hope that somebody signs him. That. Yeah.
Someone will sign.
And you know what? What's going to happen is we know who we're going to cut very easily, right?
Exactly. Yeah, if he's out there. But yeah, if you're out there and you're thinking like, man, I want to join another league. It's fantasy football season. I know like the whole industry got to a little bit of a slow start here. I think the Olympic years always push things back. And people forgetting that it's fantasy football time. You know, their minds shift to it a lot earlier. But if you're like, man, look at these guys. These guys all stinking here. I can beat these guys in this type of league. And you don't have a league and you want to play for a little higher stakes and really test yourself against competition. The NFFC is your first stop, right? I mean, they are the name of the game in high stakes, and you can do anything from this. What's the regular entry on this? 150.
This is the cheapest of the auction drafts. So there's multiple other higher ones. Yeah.
Yeah, they got a lot higher stakes than that. And there's main event prizes too. So if you really have the fantasy year of your life, you can cash in big time. I mean, these guys have been longtime friends of the site and can't vote for a site any more than these guys.
I think we'll end up getting our last guy. So I'm going to share the roster screens to date. We can talk about them a little bit, and then we'll end our stream early because our team is done. But overall, what are some themes that you're seeing with this, Jake, as you're looking over the teams? And again, we'll likely round out our last pick. Right here, because I guess I'm on the clock right now and I was not prepared.
Yeah, well, there are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams left. So,
yeah. What are you seeing? What are you thinking?
So it's a pretty balanced draft. I don't think you get drafts where people go way too heavy on the superstars, and I think we knew we weren't going to do this off the bat with McCaffrey going for only 51 and CeeDee Lamb even that we got for 51, which is a pretty good buy because I've seen plenty of drafts where CeeDee Lamb goes ahead of McCaffrey. People are worried about the injury risk and fair. So some auction drafts you see where the superstars get juiced way up. You didn't necessarily see that here, and it was balanced. And sometimes I've been in auction leagues where the superstars are juiced way down, and then you're bidding for like wide receiver 4 or 5 type players in the middle because everyone has a lot of money left. This one kind of played out if you throw on the spectrum, I think right in between, where there were some values in the middle tier later on, but nobody went too crazy and overpaid for any of the superstars, really. I mean, 51 was the highest price for any player, which is actually surprising. I mean, I've seen McCaffrey get to $59 to $63 in a lot of drafts, and a lot of times the receivers follow suit, that top tier receivers. So I think everybody was relatively responsible. There were a couple owners here that, missed out on studs. The balance is one thing if you're playing in a league like our stake league where you just have to finish in the top half. But when there's an overall prize on the line, you have to at least get a couple of studs and count on a couple dollar players to come through. So yeah, we had to do that at tight end, of course, but I'm not disappointed. I think I think our team is deep, almost to the point where we're going to have some tougher flex decisions on a week-to-week basis. I mean, Christian Watson goes out and has a huge game. We got to think about him versus Joe Mixon, on a weekly basis. So, and that's good. And I also like, this is just kind of a homer thing, but it's nice that we got a couple Packers here because that doesn't happen in Wisconsin leagues. You think we're homers.
You're right. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I'll ask you this, Jake. Besides our team, what team do you like? And I'll let you look over a few of the rosters. I have, unfortunately, a few that I think I don't like. But to your point about McCaffrey going 51, I'm really curious if he was not nominated first, if it was, let's just say, A.J. Brown nominated, or even Justin Jefferson, who's kind of conventionally a 5, 6, 7 overall pick in redraft. Yeah. If maybe those guys would have been priced up a bit more, let's throw a buck or two more on A.J. Brown.
If Brees or Bijan would have been nominated first, they would have gone for 51 too, and then we would have seen McCaffrey probably go for around 50.
I don't know if we would have, though. I think it maybe would have been close.
People were pretty conservative in this draft. So I'm running through here looking at teams. I like Wieland. I mean, who started with McCaffrey and Bijan. Obviously, I like the McCaffrey price.
And gets Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase and Michael Pittman. Of course, he has to make a sacrifice at quarterback and tight end, but perfectly fine. And then the wide receiver 3, 4. Obviously, he sacrificed depth, but you like the look of that team when you have not only 3 first-round picks, but 3 top 5 overall picks on your team. And you can come out with a team that still looks pretty decent. After all of that, obviously you have to make sacrifices to do that, but that's a guy who's looking for a main event prize. You know what I mean? If his guys work out, especially Sutton, Cortland Sutton's probably the biggest question mark, and he's going to need Jacoby Myers to be consistent. But that's the guy looking at the overall prize. I also like Team 12. Is that Rones? I can't really. You
like Team 12? Interesting. Okay, keep going with this.
I mean, because Hall and Taylor, that's a good running back foundation. The receivers are a little bit weak. I love the Goff-Laporta combo. I mean, if you had a Goff-Laporta combo last year, that was a league winner.
I think that team is easily the worst among the group. This is not a negative stream. I don't like doing that very often, especially when I'm showing names. Like I don't want to do that too much. So Davis,
he's going to have a revolving door at flex, and he doesn't have a stud wide receiver. But I think the foundations of that team are pretty good.
Okay,
I thought you'd hate Gleese the most because of the A-Chain Kyron combination.
I don't like it, but I understand again. I don't think Devon Achane is this record-breaking fantasy asset, but I understand how somebody could wish cast that. It's very obvious how that works. It's not going to happen, but that doesn't mean I'm going to just be like, oh yeah, it's horrendously bad. No, I really like Team 4 Davis. I like the Swift at $10, one of the better bargains. I think Najee Harris went higher. Javonte Williams went for $6 more. Swift, in my mind, is at that tier, if not around the Aaron Jones tier. And Aaron Jones was a bargain at 15 as well, I thought. So I like that group. And Puka Nacua, we had talked about the tight end position with Luke Musgrave. I don't, if that was a $2 Pat Freiermuth, this team is easily my favorite. So, and then the other one I wanted to mention, Team 11, Team Winokur, Devontae Adams, DK Metcalf, Malik Neighbors, about 75 combined at receiver. I don't really love James Cook at 23, but in a full point PPR league as a running back 2, totally makes sense. And Kyler at $6. That's the stake league team that we were talking about where they would easily finish the money, no doubt. Maybe they don't win the tournament, but they're going to be in top half of total points scored. And I don't know if you know this, Jake, but that's actually what matters for playoff seeding. So the best record will get the number 1 seed, but the ensuing 3 playoff spots are all decided on total points scored. So something to keep in mind as we're setting our lineups.
That's good. That's a good format to do it. That's another tip of the cap to the NFFC.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are approaching 2.5 hours. Thanks, everyone. Again, 900 plus people watching this live. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. That does it for us. You will hear us again next Tuesday, anywhere you listen to the podcast for the pre-week 1 waiver wire show. Colby Parkinson will be featured heavily as the starting tight end for the Rams. Jake will be all up to date on every single player that you don't even need to know about. And looking forward to that show again next Tuesday. And if you liked what we saw today or whatever, we have more live drafts to come. You can follow Jake on Twitter at RotoJake. Does a lot of different content for us, about 5 million different things. So a fun listen to. And then myself at JB Fantasy Sports. Again, thanks everyone for listening.